Okay. Okay, Miss Fanny, you may begin.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, at this time, we're gonna.
Hold on, Miss Fanny.
Mhm.
Miss Simpson, the content of this meeting is being sent to a third party. What does that mean?
That might be because we're streaming on YouTube, Judge.
I've never seen that before. Maybe you think that's a new thing. Is anybody else recording this?
No, Your Honor.
Any of the parenting coaches? Okay, well, if you are, you're not supposed to.
No, Your Honor, we're not.
Okay, well, if you are, you're not supposed to. We're the only ones that can record, and if you do, you could possibly be held in contempt of court. Okay,
Correct, yes.
and that goes to everybody on here. Okay, I'm sorry, Miss Fanna, go on.
That's okay. Thank you, Judge. Judge, at this time, the department filed a motion to find aggravated circumstances as to Mr. Dominique Hernandez pursuant to Texas Family Code Section 262.2015.
Yes, ma'am, I saw it.
Is Mr. Ostrovsky going to be translating? I was just giving him time.
Where did Miss Fatima go? There she is. Do you understand that, Miss Fatima?
Senora, yes, Your Honor, I understood clearly the motion, Miss Havana.
Okay. Okay, well, we're going to go and interpret for this because I think it's important. So we'll stop. Okay, Miss Fanna.
Thank you, Judge. As in our motion, the department, the reasons for the accelerated trial and the motion to find aggravated circumstances is that we believe that the child, in this case of these parents here, that Mr. Dominique Hernandez caused serious bodily injury to the child, and that and therefore that warrants the finding of aggravated circumstances. And also, we're asking that if the court finds aggravated circumstances, that the court waive the necessity for a service plan to be provided and for reasonable efforts to be made. At this time, I would like to call Miss Amy Brown.
Thank you. Okay, Miss Vanna, excuse me.
Thank you. Ms. Brown, are you the current CVS worker on this
La
case?
respuesta fue sí.
And have you had the opportunity to review the entire file?
Yes,
Tiene
ma'am, I
una
have.
oportunidad de ver.
In this case, does the child, Mr. Alexander, have severe injuries?
Yes, he does.
Sí, señora. Sí, señora. Sí las tiene.
What type of injuries did the child in this case have?
He had, when he arrived at the second location, the hospital that they transferred him to, he had bleeding on the brain. He had to get blood transfusions due to loss of blood. He had severe seizures that caused him to need to be intubated. They spent 10 days trying to get his seizure medication the right level so that the seizures could be under control and they could take him off the intubation. He had bruising on various parts of his body that were vital body parts, including his chest, abdomen, his genital area, and then also across his leg.
Ms. Brown, at this time, is the child still suffering from the injuries that were inflicted?
Yes, ma'am. According to his last CT scan that was done on December the 17th. Sorry, correction. It was done on the 16th, but reviewed with the foster parents on the 17th. He still has fluid on his brain. He has a part of his brain that has atrophied, and he is currently still on 2 mLs of seizure medication twice a day.
And Ms. Brown, from reviewing the record, do you know if anybody has admitted to injuring this child?
No, ma'am. According to the written record, no, it was through discussion with attorneys and reading outside records from arrest and that sort of thing that I found out that Mr. Hernandez was arrested for the incident.
I'll pass the witness.
En este momento tengo una pregunta para la testigo.
Anybody have any questions of Ms. Brown?
Yes, Judge.
Sí, sí, señora.
Okay, Ms. Lang.
Okay. Miss Amy, welcome back.
Thank you.
Señora, bienvenida nuevamente al retorno.
Okay. So when you reviewed you said you did a review of the entire file. So you're aware that there was a family group conference on December the 10th. Is that right?
I thought it was the 6th, but yes, ma'am, it may have been the 10th. But yes, there was a family group conference held in early December.
And you're aware that your supervisor, Teresa Donnell, and the then case manager, Victoria Martin, were present at that family group conference, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
También,
And in reviewing that, you were aware that the mom, Fatima, had already gotten busy and started doing things to work, towards housing and her employment and things related to a service plan. She'd already started rocking and rolling. And there's even conversation with her about services as part of that family group conference. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Miss
sí, señora.
Rojas has been very proactive in her service plan and working towards reunification.
And the dad was even, discussions were made to start him on services as well during that, to include getting a parenting packet, an anger management packet, a mental health screen, and notified that he needed to let the department know within 72 hours of his release, should he get released.
Yes, ma'am.
Sí,
Okay.
señora.
And that family group conference actually happened right in the middle of the adversaries. We started the adversary hearing, we had to recess it, and then we actually went back in to complete the adversary hearing after the family group conference, right?
Yes, ma'am.
También,
Okay. So dad was started on services then. Then you guys filed, and actually I believe you were on board then, you e-filed on January the 14th, your status report to the court, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am. Sí, señora.
And on pages 5 through 7 of that report, you outline a service plan for Dominique Hernandez, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Sí,
And
señora.
you even sent out the family plan that defines the goal of primary permanency goal, family reunification, with a date to achieve that November 24th, 2025, right?
Judge,
Yes.
can I
Yes, ma'am.
interrupt real quick? My client finds it more confusing to have the interpreter than to just listen in English.
So Ms. Willis, are you telling me that she totally understands everything?
Yes, she's fluent in English.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Ostrowski, just hang on in case, Ms. Fatima, raise your hand if you don't understand, okay?
Sí, disculpe, es difícil escuchar en inglés y también en español al mismo tiempo.
Muy confundida, ¿verdad? Yes,
Sí.
Joanna, she indicated it's kind of confusion to her in English and then here in Spanish and vice versa. That would be very fine of me to continue listening in English.
Okay. Okay, well, hang on. So, okay.
Yes, ma'am, I'll be here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, Ms. Vanna, sorry, Ms. Lang, you were asking questions, yes.
Thank you, Judge. So the status report to the court was written on January 21st, 2025, after the adversary hearing, all the testimony from the experts from Dell, all of the information from the investigating officer. This report that started the service plan was written almost a month later. Does that sound about right? If our last hearing was around the 11th of December, does that sound right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's just real specifically on page 6 of the status report, I'm a little bit confused where under number 2, it says Mr. Hernandez has been provided the parenting packet. And then on page 9, it says that he will receive a parenting packet when you visit him next. Was that just a misunderstanding? Because he's actually got the parenting packet now.
Yes, ma'am. It was a misunderstanding on my part. I apologize. I wasn't aware that the previous caseworker had already supplied that parenting packet. I just wanted to make sure that he received it.
Great. And he has, and he's working hard and fast on it. So then we have on page 10 of your report, recommendations, and it's barriers to reunification. And it goes through it like a whole page and a few lines of, identifying what the barriers are, but then talking forward about what he needs to do. Specifically, he'll need to learn to and communicate an understanding of age-appropriate milestones for Alexander and adjust based on his delays. He will need to learn and communicate Alexander's medical needs and how to care for those needs. The department will need to see that Mr. Hernandez has learned and can practice protective parent and nurturing parenting skills. He'll need to show that he understands age-appropriate disciplines, safe sleep, feeding, diaper changes, comforting a crying baby, and bath time, and then also maintain housing and his finances. So all that sounds like a pretty proactive service plan. Expectations, the goal of family reunification. That's what's in your report to the court for today's hearing. Is that right?
Yes,
or
ma'am,
no?
that was in the report. Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. And you understand that Mr. Hernandez has not been convicted of the offense, right, at this time. He's in jail. He has been indicted, but he's not been convicted, correct?
Yes, ma'am, as far as I understand.
Okay. And you haven't visited with him yet, but you plan to go see him soon, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, as you reviewed your history of Dominique, and you've gotten to know this man on paper, because you've not met him yet, but you will. He's 24 years old, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am, he is.
And he's a child that went through foster care. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
And he actually is a young man who suffered childhood trauma and abuse as a child, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And he doesn't have any other biological children, and he doesn't, as far as you know, in reading the report, he's not helped raise any other children or been exposed to little ones in the past based on what we have available to us. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And there's nothing in your report that shows that he has an advanced degree, that he's gone to college, he's a teacher or a medical professional, or had any exposure to any other training, or like his wife, who is some medical training. He has never had any of that. Is that your understanding as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I pass the witness.
Anybody else? Ms. Wright?
I just have a couple. Ms. Brown, you've reviewed the file and the record and everything. Is that correct? I think you said that.
Yes, ma'am.
And is it your understanding that Mr. Hernandez confessed to injuring this child?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, pass the witness, Judge.
Anybody else?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Pham?
Ms. Brown, just to clarify, and I think that it's important for the court to understand why you actually provided a service plan and wrote the report the way you did, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it true that the department is required to provide a service plan unless aggravated circumstances are found?
That's correct.
Okay, so those have not been found yet, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, so the department, were you required to provide or create a service plan due to no findings at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No further questions.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I have a few questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Willis?
Ms. Brown, I know you're fairly new to the case, and you have not had a chance to speak with Mr. Hernandez yet, but were you aware that Mr. Hernandez had not given the physicians that treated the baby when he first came into the hospital the first few days, that he had not given them the information as to what happened when he had the child in his care on Friday? Were you aware that, let me, that was probably too convoluted. Were you on Friday when he had the child and it was ascertained that he was bouncing him on his knee and that he had dropped him on his head and that he had pinched his penis in his legs, that this incident on Friday was not reported to the physicians by Mr. Hernandez?
I was not aware of that he had not relayed all the information at that time.
And were you aware that my client, the mother, did not find out what Mr. Hernandez did until I read it to her out of the affidavit of the pleadings, that she had not been told what he had done to the child?
I was not aware of that either.
Okay. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, next witness, Ms. Vanna.
I'll call Ms. Fatima.
Okay. Miss,
Yes.
hold on a second. Miss Willis, do you think I need to read her Miranda warnings?
No.
No? Okay. Okay. Miss Vanna?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Rojas, did Mr. Hernandez admit to hurting the child?
No. He told me after 4 days in the hospital and he dropped the baby. That is the only what he said.
Hold on just a second, Judge. I need to let my dog out. He's barking. Okay. Has he ever admitted to you the details of what he did?
No.
Okay.
I know the details because my lawyer called me and she and when I called the detectives because I don't know what happened with Dominic, so I called the Kevin R, the detective of the case, and he told me he take to the jail. So I asked why, what happened, and he told me that he admitted to the crime, but I say how? I don't know nothing.
Okay.
I still don't understand what happened.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Rojas. I'll pass the witness.
Anybody have any questions of Ms. Rojas?
No, Your Honor.
No. Okay, thank you. Ms. Vanna, next witness.
I'll call Mr. Hernandez.
Okay.
Well, Your Honor, just to be aware that my client is going to invoke the Fifth Amendment, and I can't imagine what Ms. Vanna is going to ask him that's not going to be protected. And
Okay, well, she can ask him and he can claim it.
well, I'll claim it on his behalf as well.
Okay, go on, Ms. Vanna.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, can you give Mr. Hernandez his warnings?
I have my little chart. I want to just make sure I get it exactly right. Hold on just a second. There it is. Okay. Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. You can hear me. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to speak to an attorney and to have an attorney present during any questioning. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be provided for you at a government expense. You understand that, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, before Ms. Vanna begins, can we just say that anything related to him talking about the incident is going to be protected under the Fifth, so I don't have to stop and interject along the way, and it's still on the record that he's invoking the Fifth as to those questions related to the incident.
That's fine. And Mr. Hernandez, you can say the same thing. Okay. If you want to. Yes. Okay, Ms. Vanna.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Dominique Hernandez, are you the father of Alexander?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you admit to injuring Alexander?
We object under the Fifth Amendment, Your Honor. I mean, to invoke the Fifth.
Right, I understand. Sustain.
Okay, I'll pass the witness. Thank you.
Anybody else? No. Okay. Next witness, Ms. Vanna.
No further witnesses, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Willis, any witnesses? Okay. Ms. Lang, any witnesses?
Your Honor, I do. I would like for I'd like to call Mr. Hernandez.
Okay.
For sole purpose of sharing some information.
That's fine.
So, Mr. Hernandez, have you had an opportunity while you've been held in the Burnett County Jail to do some personal improvement and some work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me ask some questions before you start talking, okay? And so, do you have access to like a notebook or something that you're taking classes on? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I have access to a tablet.
Okay. How many classes have you completed?
28.
And can you describe for the court in general what those classes, what you've done, what those classes entail?
I've done roughly 18 classes of parenting. It spans anywhere from child growth, from infant all the way to a teenager, anything to dealing with autism, ADHD, Down syndrome, and I've also done some medical classes for like CPR for children, infants, all the way up to adults to explain me that. I did some cognitive classes. I did some 12-step recovery classes. I did anger management classes. I've also done like I said, first aid. I did medical classes as well to help explain me. And then I've also done some substance abuse classes as well as some narcotics anonymous classes as well, and alcohol anonymous classes.
Okay. So, and you've also already received the parenting packet from CPS, right?
Yes.
And are you working your way through that
Yes, ma'am.
in addition? And have you started the anger management packet that the CPS has provided?
Yes, ma'am. I'm only a week deep. It's a week by week packet.
How many weeks will it entail for you to complete it?
Roughly a month and a half.
Okay. And are you also received from CPS an AANA packet, is that right? Or a narcotics abuse packet?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you completed that?
No, that's a pretty big packet. I've been.
Okay, but you're working on that as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you also did an anger management course. Did it have like a college equivalency of an hour credit or something? Can you tell a little bit more about the anger management course you did?
Yeah, so one of them did. The other one was roughly about like a 4-hour class, but the college credit one was an hour.
Okay. And you said that you learned about different types of children with special needs. So can you tell the court, you said autism, were there any other special needs type environments that you've already started studying about?
There was Down syndrome, autism, ADHD, dyslexia, and I also had I forgot what it was, but it was something with like brain injuries and how to handle them. And it's just, I had a somewhat of a good idea of how that was because I do have a special needs sister. But it's like it covers some bases and it went in detail on how to handle them, how to handle them with care, and what would be expected medically for them.
So as you made your way through those 28 plus classes and the CPS service plan products that they provided to you already, have you learned a lot?
I've learned quite a lot, and I've had a lot of time to reflect about to compare of what should have been, like what could have been done and how the steps I should have taken. And there was a lot, but I didn't know, and those classes really did bring in depth altogether, and it took me step by step of what needed to be done, what different routes and paths could have been done, and
Got it. Let me ask you some questions about that. So, you're 24 years old, right? You haven't had a birthday since we started. And so you learned stuff in the past month and a half that you've never even thought about before. Is that fair to say?
Yes, ma'am.
And being a daddy now, had you known the stuff you knew before, you'd have made some different choices or been more protective in a certain way or something along the line so that those accidents wouldn't have happened?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. And when you had a hearing on your criminal case on January 10th, right? Was that your arraignment where they explained the indictment to you?
Yes.
And then you have another hearing coming up this Friday, is that right?
Yes.
And you're actively engaged with your the social worker from the public defender's office is Chris Sanders, right?
Yes.
And she does not work for Blue Bonnet. She works for the public defender's office, and you're working with her and sharing information about the courses and things you're taking, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I pass the witness, Your Honor, for the purpose solely of follow-up questions related to what I brought in to testimony and subject to any objection to protect the Fifth Amendment.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Vanna.
Mr. Hernandez, you stated that you have learned a lot and you would not have done what you did. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's not quite the articulation. He said he would have made other choices to avoid the accident.
Okay. Have you learned that it's not okay to pinch the genitals to stop a child from peeing?
Objection, Your Honor. We won't answer that under the Fifth.
Have you learned that I'll just pass the witness.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, next witness, Ms. Lane.
No other witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Wright, do you have any witnesses?
I don't, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm happy to hear from everybody.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, the department is going.
The motion. We'll do the status hearing in a minute. Yeah.
Okay, just the motion.
Yeah.
Judge, the department is asking that the court find aggravated circumstances as to Dominique Hernandez, pursuant to Texas Family Code Section 262.201, for the reasons that he inflicted serious bodily injury to this child. Although he hasn't been convicted, that is not a requirement to find aggravated circumstances. In this court, in the civil court, the court may take his him pleading the fifth, can take that into consideration, and I ask the court to do that. You've heard testimony from Ms. Fatima Rojas that she did learn that he did admit to injuring the child, although she doesn't know the details. Mr. Hernandez himself has stated that he has learned a lot and would have done things differently. Even though the department did provide him some services, we're still asking the court to find aggravated circumstances, to schedule a permanency hearing in 30 days. And even if the trial is not accelerated, just that the department not have to make reasonable efforts to reunify with Mr. Hernandez. And that's all I have, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Miss Willis.
Your Honor, as you know, we have a totally different situation with my client. She's dealing with immigration status and whatnot. I am speaking for her, but I'm not speaking on her behalf when I say that I believe that it's in her best interest if the court finds aggravated circumstances against the father. I think she's been kept in the dark. She's still learning what happened to her baby. She's in shock. She's grieving. And there needs to be an accountability for that, of course, at some point down the road for Mr. Hernandez, but she needs to be completely exonerated from his actions and in twofold, because it's going to affect her in her relationship with her child as well as her immigration status.
Thank you, Ms. Willis. Ms. Lang.
Your Honor, the burden of proof for aggravated circumstances is a preponderance of the evidence. And in this case, we've had 2 days worth of testimony from experts in law enforcement. And there is a question as to an accidental injury versus an intentional injuries here. And they're still at play. Obviously they are, or the state would have filed for aggravated circumstances 31 days ago and they didn't. And so to claim that they did their service plan because there wasn't a finding of aggravated circumstances to now, if there were aggravated circumstances, they should have asked for it 31 days ago and not implemented their service plan. I think there's not a preponderance of evidence showing that this was an intentional injury or injuries at this point. This young man is working hard and fast, and he's got a lot of things hanging over his head on the criminal side to deal with. We've had many cases in your court, Your Honor, where there have been accidents that are pretty egregious. A mom on methamphetamines runs over her 2-year-old child, breaks his leg, causes, who knows what type of lifelong injury. She didn't get aggravated circumstances. She worked her program and she actually got reunited with her kid. We had a young man, that was a Burnett County case. We had a young man up in Llano who beat the hell out of his kid with a belt with a buckle on it. That family has been through the system about 4 times, but he got reunified with his child. He went through the courses, he went through the program, and they're together as a family at this time. We recently had a case over in Blanco County, similar to this one, injuries to a child, an infant, and the father had an indictment, but it wasn't aggravated circumstances, Your Honor. Everybody worked the program. The system will work itself out. We'll see what happens with Mr. Hernandez on the criminal side. Who knows what they find? There's a chance he could be out on a probation or deferred sentence. And that opens up a whole nother level of what it looks like to be a parent, whether he's on the sidelines supporting, and he has indicated to me he wants to financially support this child. He wants to know about the child. Right now, I'm the only one taking information to him about his baby to see, the growth and the development and how well it's doing. So I think that he's entitled to know that and, continue down whatever the criminal system is going to do, that will solve itself, but it's further down the road than right now within 45 days. If the court were to have a final hearing in 45 days, my client can't testify. He's still got these charges pending before him. So there's no mechanism for him to have his day in court and his ability to advocate for him to continue in that some version of a parental role for his child. I think it's just, I want to say the word inauthentic, Your Honor, but everybody heard the evidence. We all sat through court all those days. Let the court system work itself out on the criminal side, understanding that those are decisions to be made further down. Let Mr. Hernandez work through this as a man, a dad, see if he's able to manage his criminal case, have firm footing as he steps out to play some role in his child's life, whatever this system in CPS decides is an appropriate way to handle that. So their claim is aggravated circumstances because he inflicted serious bodily injury to the child. We avert that it's accidental injury, Judge, and there's not a preponderance of the evidence showing that it was intentional. All of the case law related to aggravated circumstances points to people who kill their child, fathers who are on drugs and physically, sexually, mentally, and emotionally abusing their children. This man had accidents. They quote, they cited in their petition, their application for aggravated circumstances, the affidavit, and then a summary of, the fall from the chair. We heard testimony about that. Not seeking medical care after the auto accident. There was nothing indicating injury to the child that promoted. You don't have to take, we had testimony from the expert that said, you don't have to take a child to the hospital every time there's a fender bender or an accident. A dog jumping on the chest, plausible. And then there's this thing about a 2-month-old doesn't roll over. Nobody in this room has seen every single infant that's 2 months old to know that that's no 2-month-old ever rolls. My mother would tell them that I rolled off of the scale when I was born, trying to get me measured because I was 12 inches long, go figure, and 12 pounds heavy. So you can't say that. Fatima was there. She told you what happened. Who knows where the pillows were? Who knows how much leverage that child had? Who knows? We don't know. All of those are accidents, Your Honor. So that's going to be determined in the criminal court, not here today. I don't believe the state has met their burden for preponderance of the evidence for aggravated circumstances, and really in the interest of justice and the best interest of this child to be able to have a dad who's willing to provide support for him. No matter what the contact is, you guys get to decide what that is at the end of this case. But that's what he would like to do, and they've already started services. I don't understand why they're wanting to stop him now.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Sheehan, what do you think about the motion?
I have been doing this, judges. This is my 25th year of doing this kind of work. For the last roughly 13 years, the only cases I have taken are attempted homicide, gross bodily injury, and abusive head trauma. So I'm familiar with the signs and symptoms and injuries associated with those kinds of actions. I've listened attentively, as everyone else did, to the testimony at the adversary hearing. I found nothing that was spoken there by the medical experts, nor anything in the record that changes my view that these injuries in totality could not have been caused accidentally. They were intentional, and there's no question in my mind about that at all.
So you think I should grant the motion?
Well, that's certainly that's within the court's purview. I have not been to see Mr. Hernandez. My understanding is similar to Ms. Brown's and her predecessor, that he had admitted to causing the injuries. And at the time of those injuries, at the time of his booking into jail, Mr. Hernandez weighed 300 pounds. At the time of the injuries, his child's weight was in the 7th percentile and his height was in the 3rd percentile. So he was tiny by any standard that one would use. That's my view.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Wright?
Judge, I think the motion needs to be granted. This baby, one of the things that we haven't talked about that we hopefully will get to in the status part of this is his condition now. So although he does look like a normal baby and he's laughing and doing all the things, his most recent scan showed that there's been no change to his brain injury since the injury occurred. There's this black spot on the back of his brain that's like dead or dying, so I believe the neurologist has stated that, it's easy being a baby. There's not a lot of things you have to do using that brain. So it could be a year before we know the full extent of these injuries. Mr. Hernandez has said he would have done things differently. I think that speaks volumes. Parents don't have to have a class to tell you not to shake your baby or to pinch the penis. That is just absurd. Also, being in the system or growing up poorly or whatever it is that his circumstances are, again, that's not an excuse. It doesn't justify it. It just, in my mind, it's nothing. It doesn't do anything to excuse harming a little innocent tiny baby who you've been tasked with protecting. That's your one job, is you protect this child and not go out and inflict injury on him. Judge, in my opinion, you don't get second chances when you injure a baby like this. So I would ask that you grant the motion.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Fannin, do you want to go on with the status hearing, or you want me to rule on this motion first?
Would the court be able to rule on the motion first?
Yeah, I can. I heard all the evidence at the adversary hearing from the medical, like Mr. Wright talked about, and the gentleman from DPS, law enforcement officer. So I remember all that, and anyway, I remember all the testimony. I am going to grant the motion, but I want the service plan to continue because it's a or in the statute. I want the department to continue with the service plan for Mr. Hernandez. He's in jail. I don't know when he's getting out. He's doing a lot of work in the jail. He's doing the services that the department has brought over there to him, and I think that's good. I'm also not going to accelerate the trial because I don't want to piecemeal this. I think that's a waste of resources, money, time, everybody's effort. Like Ms. Wright just said, it's going to be a while till we see how Alexander is health-wise and growth-wise and everything. So it's going to be a while before CPS is going to be out of this case anyway, regardless of service plan, regardless of aggravated circumstances, not aggravated circumstances. So anyway, basically, I'm just going to grant the motion and keep everything else in place.
Okay. Judge, are you allowing the department not to make reasonable efforts to reunify?
Yes, I forgot. Yes, yes. I'm going to require that CPS does not have to make reasonable efforts to reunify Alexander with Mr. Hernandez.
Okay. Aside from the services that were already provided to Mr. Hernandez, is that correct?
Yes. I mean, I think he would need some anger management, but I think that was already discussed. If he gets out, we might regroup on some services, but we can do that at that time. I think the department's done a good job providing him with stuff. Ms. Brown, anything else you think that's applicable, a packet or anything else, or Miss Lang, Ed items, anything y'all think that he could do while he's in jail? I think that's good too. Gives him something to do, and it can't hurt. So, okay, status hearing. Ms. Van, anything you need to say or include?
Judge, just wanted to let the court know that Ms. Rojas is, she's on it. She's doing all her services. I think I received notice today that she is she's starting her domestic violence component today with the with Deb Tabor, but also with the pregnancy center. And so she's kind of doing both classes. She's having her visits weekly, twice a week in Georgetown and then once in Burnett. We've got the parenting coaches in place. And so I think the department is just asking that the court approve the service plan and that we move forward. The only thing I would like to hear from is maybe the parenting coaches to get their take on how she's doing at the visits. And I don't know who's been supervising, if it's been Miss Mary, is it Bachols or Miss Merlick?
I can speak, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
It's Buholtz, by the way. No one can say it or spell it. It's fine.
Buholtz, thank you.
Buholtz. So, Miss Merlick and I both are parent coaching. We're kind of co-parent coaching. I'm going to be doing the visits in Georgetown, and Jen will be doing the visits in Burnett. She is also Spanish speaking, so that's going to help any communication gaps with mom. We've only had one visit, which was last Thursday, so we really don't have a good assessment at this point. But I can tell you that she was very receptive. She's been very receptive in the visit, very receptive with us as we're texting her. So we're hopeful that this relationship will continue in a positive arena.
Thank you, ma'am. It's good news. Okay. Another witness, Ms. Vanna?
No further witnesses, Judge. Just to give the court an update also to Ms. Willis regarding the home studies. There were 2 people that were, that were provided to the department to do home studies on. One of the persons is currently in Mexico and not regularly home, so the home study has not been complete. The second person, she's living with mom. She's not quite sure if she wants the home study. The department, I'm going to have Ms. Amy Brown kind of explain that. And we would like mom to start maybe going to some of the appointments for the child so that she can understand the needs of the child and what it's going to take and to care for him.
I agree.
So, Ms. Brown, can you tell me, can you give the court an update on those home studies?
Yes, as of right now, one of the home studies, I spoke to and explained to Ms. Rojas what a home study actually is and the fact that the court would be looking at that as a possible placement for Alexander. At this time, she does not, according to her, want him moved to another location, especially since one of the home study requests is with a lady who does not have any children of her own and is back and forth between Mexico quite a bit. She also works 52 hours a week. And so Ms. Rojas is concerned about her ability to take care of Alexander. The other home study is with another lady who has already voiced concerns that she does not want to be placement for the child, and she does not want to reside with mom and the baby if mom is to have the baby returned to her. However, I will continue to try and find family members on Mr. Hernandez's side of the family. I know that Miss Rojas's mother is currently trying to get a visa to come to America, and she would be a good person to reside with Miss Rojas and in a reunification type process. Miss Rojas has done amazing with this situation, and she currently is an assistant manager, and she continues to work as many hours per week as she can. And she does have Tuesdays and Thursdays off for visitation with the baby.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. No further questions.
Okay, good. Okay. Ms. Willis, what do y'all need?
Well, basically, I'm sorry. Can you come back to me, Judge? I'm trying to look for a list that my client gave me, and I haven't found it yet.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ms. Lang, what do y'all need?
Your Honor, thank you.
Nothing? Okay. Dr. Sheehan, what do you need? And what do you think about the doctor appointments?
I think mom should go to the doctor's appointment. I think that CASA would be greatly relieved to have mom spend some time in parenting classes, parenting coaching, with someone to explain to her in detail what she could be facing as she raises her child, the kind of medical issues that she should be on the lookout for, the kind of behavior she should be watching out for. All those things require really close attention. I think too that I think mom is undergoing a lot of stress because her view of her status in the United States is very much attached to Mr. Hernandez. And I think whatever can be done, whether it's to bring her mom here or something else, to help her get rid of some of that feeling, that worry, that concern about her status and therefore the status of her child would be of a great help. So go to the doctor's appointments, parenting classes, learn everything she can learn about the potential deficits her child is going to be facing over the years as the neurosurgeon said, it doesn't take a lot of brain power to be a baby. You can smile, laugh, coo, have your eyes go back and forth, but there's a lot of damage that's gone on in that child's brain, and it's certainly going to become noticeable as time goes on. And so she needs to know what to look for and how to react when she sees something. That would give Casa a great deal of comfort.
Thank you. Miss Wright, sorry. My brain laughs on your name.
Too many W's. I spoke with a placement actually this morning, and she gave me those medical updates. He's doing well. She reports that he's, laughing, smiling, cooing, doing all the baby things, and looks really good. He's eating well, sleeping well, doing all the things. But we've got this scan that's very concerning with that black spot on his brain and the fluid on his brain and all of those things. But she says mom is bringing things to the appointment or to the visits. And if the placement needs something, she tells the caseworker and mom brings it. So it sounds like all that's going well. And Judge, I would also support mom going to those appointments so that for all the reasons Dr. Sheehan stated.
Okay. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but if I remember correct, don't they sometimes put in stents or is that the word, or shunts?
That's what I asked. And Judy, do you want to talk about that? Oh, you're muted.
You're muted, ma'am.
I can share what the doctor told me on the last visit, and that is that in the record, well, when I received the baby, I asked about a shunt because of the fluid that was on his brain. And apparently the neurosurgeon at the time said that would not impact the outcome of his injuries. That's all I know. And the doctor said the same thing this time we were there, that, that a shunt was not appropriate right now. So I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I just didn't think they'd like to have water on your brain. I thought that was, I kind of thought it was, like I said, I'm not a doctor. I kind of thought it was two different issues. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I know y'all are keeping on top of that though, right?
Yes, I think Judy, didn't you say that it was something about the layers also, like where the fluid?
The fluid is not between his skull and his what's called the dura, which is the first level in the brain. It's underneath that, and maybe that's why they can't put a shunt there. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
That's the area of the brain that exchanges cerebral fluid with spinal fluid, and that's what's so horribly wrong here, is that area was damaged with a bleed, and then the brain starts to atrophy in that section, and there's a lot that goes on in there.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was just, I just want to make sure I got the information correct here because it's a little involved. So my client, of course, her mother would be ideal if they could get her mother to come here. They've been having trouble in getting her visa in Ecuador. So I don't know how this works, but she's going to Chile to try to get it from Chile. Regardless, if she does get a visa to come here, it'll only be good for 6 months, and then she'll have to return and come back. But they are working on that. The other issue is if she tries to find somebody here, which she has been doing, it's going to be, well, put it this way, the department is also trying to find someone. She doesn't want somebody she doesn't know living with her. That makes her uncomfortable, even if they pass the home study. She is having a hard time finding someone that wants to live in the house with her. She did find one person, but it's a man, and she knows him. There's no relationship. She doesn't want a relationship. He doesn't want a relationship. And she just asked that the department at least talk to him, because everybody's just basically said, no, you can't have a man there. So, and it may or may not work out, but there's no harm, I don't think, in at least meeting the man and seeing. He's from Venezuela, and he's also a father.
I think y'all ought to talk to him. There's a lot of men. My husband would have been way better than me, so, I know it's man, woman living in the same house, and she's married, but I don't think it would hurt, Ms. Brown. I think you ought to visit with him.
Thank you, Judge.
And y'all, I don't know. I didn't watch the TV yesterday because it's not my thing. But I'm a little concerned about everybody's immigration status and what's going to happen and letting people in. and not letting people in. I don't know. I think it's really scary. So I hate for everybody to get all geared up about stuff when everybody might not be here. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and then didn't I hear just because you were born here, that doesn't mean anything. That's going to not mean anything anyway. So I don't know. So we all need to kind of have all that stuff in the back of our heads too. I think so.
Well, just so the court knows, and I think you do know this, Judge, but just to make sure, they have not yet been able to get the child processed for citizenship in Ecuador. So now we have a mom she has a visa. It's expired, and she has an immigration attorney working on that. And we have a child with another citizenship status. So situation.
Yeah. And they might say, well, if you're working on Ecuadorian citizenship, why do you need to have a United States citizenship? I don't know. I don't agree with all that, but I'm just throwing it out there. So, okay, well, I'm going to approve the service plan and make it an order of the court. I'm going to say Ms. Rojas can attend some of the child's doctor's appointments as long as she is service plan compliant and is agreed by CPS if items in placement. Some doctors, Ms. Fatima, some doctors don't like a lot of people there because of diseases, COVID, we went through all that. So as Ms. Brown, y'all can work out. I think Ms. Fatima needs to go to some of the doctors. I don't know if Ms. Ames has any problems with that, but doesn't see she's saying no. I wouldn't think so anyway, but just got to say that. I think the neurologists and all that is the most important ones that Ms. Fatima needs to go to. GP, regular stuff. I think Miss Ames is a nurse or somebody in her home is a nurse. So whichever one Miss Ames thinks is the most important, I agree. I'm good. Developmental stuff. Maybe I think I read in one of the reports that we're getting ready to have an eye appointment. Is that right? So
yes, ma'am. He's going to have an eye appointment. He also starts his ECI swallow therapy for his drinking his bottle and learning how to swallow that properly. And then neurosurgeon follow-up in 3 months from December the 17th. So that should be already scheduled, and I will get that information to Ms. Rojas.
Okay. Parents shall have to comply with the service plan or your parental rights could be subject to termination. Everybody get out pens and I'll give y'all our court dates. Our first permits hearing is April Fool's Day, 4/1. Our second one is 7/1. I don't know about that. That's the week of July 4th. Nobody likes to come to court that week, but we'll worry about that later. And our trial, if we get that far, is 10/7. Our dismissal date is 11/24. Okay, Miss Fatima, keep up the good work. You too, Mr. Hernandez. And Miss Lang, I'm sure you're keeping up with Mr. Hernandez, his criminal lawyer, and coordinating everything. And we'll see y'all in a couple of months. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Kyle's still with his aunt and uncle, doing well. I showed that the department is working on getting him Social Security. He wants to go to a program to finish school. I think it's Victoria or down somewhere that way. But that everything's going well. So this is a perm after hearing. So Ms. Danny, you may begin.
Thank you, Judge. Also, the placement did receive the $1,000 that the court ordered be sent by Mr. Wood to the placement. So that was done. We were going to talk about SSI today. Last week when I spoke with the department, they were working on a few more documents that needed to be submitted with the SSI application. So I just want to get an update from Ms. Mystic about where she is on that. So Ms. Mystic, can you unmute yourself? What documents are you still waiting on to submit that application for SSI again?
It's the teacher questionnaire. I'm still waiting to get that back from the school. So I've emailed them asking for an update. I'm just waiting for a response.
Okay. Can I ask when you asked them for that?
It was Thursday or Friday last week.
Okay.
And I know school's closed today, so.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, and when do you plan on following up with the teacher about that questionnaire?
Tomorrow morning, I'm going to give them a call and find out what's going on, and when I should be receiving that.
Okay, is it a lengthy questionnaire?
No, it was a pretty basic one. I didn't see anything that was too complicated in it.
Okay, how many pages was it?
I want to say 2 pages.
Okay, so nothing too crazy. Okay. Okay, is there also on child support? It looks like, Judge, I created a spreadsheet that I sent over to everyone, just documenting the dates child support was ordered, kind of where we are on that. If we don't take any of the in-kind things that were provided for Kyle, like a laptop, some of the big stuff, the department did not include things like food for visits or, Christmas presents, did not include any of that. They did provide, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Wood, they had provided a laptop for school for him, some sort of big gaming console, and one other big thing. And so if that's included, they are caught up on child support. If not, they're about around $300-ish behind on child support. Kyle is attending therapy. I think that the department wants to get some clarification or some input from others. It looks like he's not really participating, although he's there. And so the therapist is kind of wondering if he needs to continue with Kyle or if we should just stop therapy at this time. So I guess that's up to the court. He says that Kyle does not really open up or talk about the past or, his emotions or feelings or any of that stuff. So we just need some clarification from the court, but he is there present. The therapist does come to the house.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions, Miss Mystic? No? Okay. Miss McClure, what do you need to add?
I'm just kind of here, Judge. Just you appointed me and I'm here.
Okay. Let's see. Mr. Wood, what do you think? Especially about
What was that last part, Judge?
especially about therapy? What do you think about that?
Kyle has been through so much therapy. I really feel like he has worked through all the issues that they wanted to work through. I think most of the issues that he's dealing with are more normal. I feel like Charles has a good relationship with him. They're working through some things. I was kind of the mindset that unless there were some glaring issues from the counselor, which I don't think there are, I don't think that they need to continue any further.
Okay.
We had a great meeting, Judge, where we talked about this program. Some of the things Kyle's funny, he's interactive, a little inappropriate at times, but I think he just knows how to maybe get our attention and those kind of things. But I think Kyle is on a good path. Now he could surprise us all in 2 or 3 months, but it seems like he's doing well.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Fowler, what do you think?
I'm just proud that Kyle went to therapy for as long as he did. That was a huge step for him. But if he's not wanting to continue, I think we should honor his wishes. Just looking forward to seeing if he's able to get into the Texas Challenge Academy. And hopefully I think that program starts in July. And
hey, David, I did check into that, and it does. We did our meeting.
Yes.
He is still adamant about it. So he's going to work on getting as many credits as he can until July. And then after that, I did tell him and I did explain to him, like, hey, this isn't a guarantee you will graduate from high school, but it will push you to the point where you can at least graduate when you're 18 and a half versus 21 or 22 years old. So I've started the application. I've got with Jess. I need his shot records. Everything else I can get on my part. It's just that part. It's easier for her to get than I can, especially through because I don't know who his doctor is when it comes to that, like for his shot records. But he is doing good, and he's on that that he wants to do that. So I just wanted to put that on the table, like, and hopefully his mindset stays the same. But so far, so good on the Texas Challenge Academy.
And it's so great to hear.
Right. I agree. I think if he wants to go, I don't think it's a bad idea. It sounds like a good program, and he'll be able to bang it all out, and I think that's good. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add? Okay, well, what I'm going to say, our next hearing is 4/15/25. I still need to hear about the Social Security benefits that the department is still working on. Counseling only when requested by Kyle. And I'm going to say that the child support is declared current as of 1/1/25.
I'm sorry, Judge, what was the last, sorry, what was the last thing you said about child support?
Declared current as of, I don't know what the word is, but I'm just going to say declared current as of 1/1/25. But they still owe.
May I ask a question, Judge?
Hold on.
The gaming. I'm sorry.
Hold on. I'm talking and nobody talks when I'm talking. I still want them to continue to pay though. You know, beginning now for January, blah, blah, blah. Yes, sir. Now you can ask the question.
Okay. I apologize about that.
That's okay.
Hold on, my screen's. So with the gaming console and everything that was deemed for Kyle, what gaming console were we talking about with that? Because he did get a PS5 for Christmas, but I think that was through either Casa or through PALS. I'm not sure what gaming console they were talking about. The laptop they were talking about, I'm not sure how he acquired that one. I think he was given it. I'm not sure if it's through the Macianos or not. So I was just curious with that. And like the all child support, we're not worried about that part. That's on y'all's end. But I was just wondering if that came from the Macianos, the PlayStation 5.
I don't think it's the PlayStation 5. It was what was credited is a total of about $200 worth, and it was a game exchange and then GameStop, game and console. So it could have been games or something of that effect. There was a whole lot more there, but we didn't accept a lot of that. So it's not like they got a lot of credit for the in-kind amount.
And it
Okay, I was just trying to see where it was at.
And it
I'm
was
sorry.
something he doesn't have anymore. You know, because we kind of bopped around a bunch. No, anything you got for Christmas? No, I think that was probably from CASA or the department. Wasn't it, Mr. Wood or David or somebody you might know?
I think the gaming console probably came from PALS.
The Christmas one, right?
Yes, Your Honor. He has an old gaming console. It's years old.
What about does he still have the laptop, Mr. Michael?
Yes, ma'am. He has a laptop. I'm not sure how he acquired that one. I think it was through PALS or Casa. I know that the older gaming system that he bought with his own money. The PlayStation 4 he bought it when he worked at the trash job when he was with Valentino. So other than that, that was my only question about that. Is like I was just seeing who it came from, just because I don't want to be trying to pull wool over somebody's eyes.
Right. Well, we've been hearing about all that kind of stuff for a long time, and but anyway, if we didn't give him a lot of credit, I'm okay because didn't want to, and we're still going to make him pay child support. So we'll see.
And Judge, there was a long list that was provided to me from Mr. Wood that Mr. Maisano gave him, and I really didn't count like any of that stuff. So they had put a lot on there, and it just was not appropriate, I don't think. And I think Mr. Wood agrees.
And he was really he said, I didn't really want to present all that as credit. This is what we've done. And so I think they're okay. And I mean, we're approaching 18 and we've got terminations from them. So I just don't know. I mean, I didn't have that conversation with Kyle, but I feel like every time that they get more involved, Kyle takes 2 or 3 steps back. That's my opinion. And so I would just rather be done with them completely and wash our hands of that. But that's just my opinion.
I mean, he's about to turn 18. I really don't know what a termination at this point would do. I mean, unless Kyle's really insisting that he wants that termination. I mean, it's just, I think he turns 18 in October. And so that's just several more months of, it was minimal child support payments.
I'm real hesitant to terminate now. I'm just going to continue on and see if we can get some money. And we do, we do. We don't, we don't. I mean, any couple dollars Kyle can get, that's more than he had before. It's a good nest egg. Okay, well, I don't want to terminate him either.
So, Judge, I have $1,000 balance, I believe, if my math is right. So do you want me to send that, or do you want me to hold that, or?
Let's hold it for a little bit longer. Let's talk about it, because we might need to, I don't know, if we do that thing in July, he might need something down there, And if Mr. Michael isn't dying for the money, I think we're okay. What do y'all think?
Yes, ma'am. We're okay. The $1,000 being set back. I know that he'll need boots and black combat boots and black shoes for it, but we can cover that. But I'd rather keep it as a nest egg for, say, a car that we're working on getting his driver's license. We did do a program that was sent to us for free driving school, but there's not a driving school down here that's covered by TWC. So I'm going to call them tomorrow, just with this weather we have today. I don't know if they're closed, and see if I can get them, see if they can do the paperwork to have TWC cover him. If not, with income tax, if TWC can't cover the driving school, we will get him the student driving like we've done with our daughter. I don't have the extra money right this second for the driving school, so we're going to wait till income tax. And I have talked to Kyle about that, and he's okay with that. So we are trying to get him his driver's license as soon as possible as well.
Well, I thought there was a new law. I could be wrong. I think there's a new law that if there's TPS children, the department is supposed to cover that. So
okay, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, me neither. I'm just going to put that in the order.
Okay.
It's driver's ed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I was going to say CPS to pay driver's ed. Well, and if he gets a license and he gets a car, we're going to need all the money we can get for insurance purposes, with his age. So
yes,
we'll just nest egg it and go from there.
Okay. And Mr. Michael, I'm sorry, can I ask you a question quickly?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you take Kyle in to get his state ID by chance on the 17th?
Yes, ma'am. He has his state ID now. And we're just waiting on the hard copy. He has a paper copy of it. So that all went as well as you can from the DMV. So
fantastic. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, that's the order. Y'all know. Let's see. Next hearing, 4:15. Good news. Yay. Tell Kyle good. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll testify. Please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, thank you. This is our second permanency hearing. I have that Mr. Sage is not here. There is an iPhone 11. Does anybody know that person? Anyway, 11. Donna Nelson. Anyway, I read off everybody, so if somebody's there that's y'all didn't mention, I'm going to leave it alone. Mr. Sage is still incarcerated in the Beaumont area. I have Miss LaPierre hasn't done anything much on her service plan. Grayson is with fictive kin locally, doing well. And that's what I have today for our hearing. Miss Fanny, you may begin.
Thank you, Judge. Just to let the court know that Mom's visits and phone calls had been stopped. She was allegedly calling intoxicated, and that just was not, that was really hard on Grayson. At this time, we're asking for mediation, and also it looks like Miss LaPierre is with Mr. Appleby again, and so we're asking that we're going to create a service plan for him as well, since they are together, and a lot of these issues happened when they were together as well. The department believes that Mr. Appleby also has an issue with alcohol, and so that's probably going to be part of the service plan. And so, Miss Amy Montes, do you have anything to update the court with since you filed the court report?
No, ma'am, just the therapy for Grayson that has been initiated. Ms. Christine, his caregiver, reported that she did receive the intake paperwork and is set to schedule that. So I'm waiting on confirmation of when that will happen. And then I did reach out to the courtesy worker for Mr. Sage, the father for Grayson, and she's actually supposed to call me today. So I will have more information on Mr. Sage for the court at the next hearing. But I have written him a letter, sent him the parenting information, and he is not up for parole again until August of this year.
Okay, and is the therapy for Grayson going to be in person?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and fantastic. And who is that therapist going to be?
Her name is Miss Andrea. Give me just a minute. I apologize. I had that up. Sorry, guys. Can you give me just a moment?
It's Andrea Flores.
Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it. I sent her an email and included him on it, and it just left me. So thank you, David.
Okay, and let me see here. It looks like in your report, the goal was still family reunification. Is the department planning on having another PC in this case, just to go over any possible changes and with Ms. Lapierre?
Yes, ma'am. We would like to schedule a PC, a permanency conference, so that we can discuss where we're at with the goals and where we're headed.
Okay. And do you need any other orders from the court today, or are you asking that the current orders continue? Aside from what we asked for.
Yes, ma'am. Just that the current orders continue and what we asked for with mediation. And please excuse me, I'm under the weather today.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions, Ms. Montez? Ms. Cummings, why are you here?
Because it's a snow day.
So are you filling in? Are you going to be you today?
I'm going to be me today.
You are? Okay. But on this case, just so I know, is Miss Willis taking over for you on this case also?
Yes, she's taking this case.
Okay. Is she here?
I don't believe so, and I don't know if the order got signed. I don't remember seeing it. I did send her over all the paperwork, though.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember. I signed about half of them. So, okay. Okay. Miss Vanna, any more witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Miss Wright, any witnesses?
No, Judge. If I could add just a couple things.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Lapierre did go to rehab a couple times, and she's kind of had some on and off things going on, but she's committed to being back on, and she's restarting therapy, and she's doing classes. So we are hopeful that we're in the right direction.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Harris, what do you need?
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Casa, Mr. Fowler?
Grayson's doing well. There's some behavioral issues that we're going to readdress in the team meeting back at the at school. And hopefully we'll be getting a CASA advocate put on this case, kind of like Gabriel was able to take Grayson out and do things. And that's all I have right now.
Thank you. Ms. Cummings?
I don't need anything this time, Your Honor. I think mediation will be a good thing to order to happen, obviously, before the final hearing.
Okay. Y'all know who all the mediators are. I can go through my list, but obviously Ms. Cummings and Ms. Wright can't mediate. Who do y'all want to choose to mediate? And I'll want to order placement to attend also. Angela Dowdle, Natalie Bennett, Matt Grove, Fran Brockstein. Oh, y'all know who they are.
Maybe Matt Grove. I don't know.
I think Matt would be fine.
Matt Grove. Okay.
My client is incarcerated, and this facility can be a little bit difficult to get him on the phone, and so I imagine mediation will be even more difficult. If I can get with him ahead of time, am I okay to participate on his behalf?
Yes, ma'am. And Mr. Grove might have some experience dealing with incarcerated folks too, because he used to be a criminal lawyer. So that'll be a good. Get with him too, Miss Harris. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to say the department is to create a service plan for Mr. Appleby, who is to comply with the service plan. Ms. LaPierre, you are to comply. You have to comply with your service plan, or your parental rights could be subject to termination. I'm going to order that Ms. Willis is, substituted in for Ms. Cummings after today's hearing. I'm going to order Matt Grove to mediate this case, and placement can also attend the mediation. Mediation is to occur before 4/15/25, which is our final trial date. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, good news. I'm glad Grace is doing well. Glad we got his therapy going. And y'all got to step up. So we'll see y'all on 4/15. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Judge.
Thank you. Our excuse. Thank you. Bye.
Say anything? You don't get to talk. They talk. And there's so many different people, and I thought it was about other people coming in the court. What was all these different people? Huh?
So many different people. Sometimes we get good stuff. Sometimes we don't get anything, but that's okay. Thank you, Miss Christine. About to give me the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay. Okay. It's our status hearing. Excuse me. Tyler's with the paternal great grandma locally, doing well. Mom is working her service plans down there. Sounds like Dad is kind of stepping up, and things are kind of heading in the right direction, according from what I read in all the reports. So, Miss Vanna, you may begin, please.
Thank you, Judge. Is Miss Dowdle here?
No.
Oh, Dowdle, legal assistant. Okay.
Blair, where's Angela?
Judge, she should be signing on any minute. Sorry.
Not here.
Okay. Well, we would ask
Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor. Where's the dad?
I don't know.
Is he with Donna Nelson? Donna?
Miss Bennett?
I don't know. He was asking me how to get into the court stuff, and I texted him last night and told him to go to Zoom and type in the thing. I've been in mediation all morning, so I just logged in on my phone to this. Let me see if he sent me a message or anything.
I mean, unless he's the iPhone, but I'm not letting in iPhones anymore. I'm tired of this. It's been 5 years now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, this may be the first time that he's gotten on there, but let me see. Here he says, let me see. Are you?
Miss Vanna, CPS ADO Melissa Hand. What case is she on? We don't have any adoption cases left.
No, we don't. Not today. I'm not sure. Should we bring her in and ask? Maybe she's in the wrong.
Yeah. Does anybody know her? Melissa Hand in CPS ADO. Isn't that going to be adoption?
That would be adoptions.
Your Honor, I'm not familiar with who that is.
Me neither. Let's see.
Okay. Oops. He said he thinks he's signed in. So I just told him that he has to have typed his name in. Do you want me to tell him to sign out and then type his name in and sign back in?
No.
I'm sorry, Judge. This is, I think, his first time of being.
Okay, well, y'all got to tell him the rules in advance.
Yes, I apologize.
Miss Hand, what case are you on? CPS. Miss Hand, what case are you on? Miss Hand, you need to answer.
I am. I'm so sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, what case are you on?
I'm actually just a protege. I'm training, and on my ITP, I just need to sit in.
For a court all the way around, or are you filling in with somebody?
My mentor is out sick today. I'm with Ashley Tulip. She's my supervisor.
Okay.
They just told me that I needed to come in and complete a task on my ITP, and I'm just to sit in.
Okay. Okay, you can mute yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Bennett, I iPhone in, but I'm not going to do it again.
11.
iPhone, you need to identify yourself, and we need to see you. What's your name, sir?
Father Shannon.
Okay, you need to put your name on there from now on, or we're not going to let you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't figure it out. I was trying.
Okay, well, you and your lawyer can practice beforehand.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
again, everybody's going to testify. Raise your hand. You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay, I already went over what I reviewed from reading the report. So, Ms. Fanny, you may begin, please.
Thank you, Judge. It looks like Dad has started his services. Mom is trying to. The home study for the placement was approved. Let me see here. So at this time, there have been no in-person visits between the child and mom. I think that the department is having trouble just having any response from folks on this case to coordinate in-person visits. They've been doing some Zoom visits. Let's see here. So Tyler Jr. had his cardio appointment in Marble Falls, and he's been released from further care. It's my understanding, and so his heart issue has resolved. We're asking the court today to make the service plans in order of the court and for the parents to continue working. I know they've been having issues finding services for mom, and just with her housing and stability has been a problem as well. We're looking for some maybe some sort of group home with life skills, if that's something that she would be amenable to, and see what we can do there. Miss Allen, will you unmute yourself, please? Is there any new updates for the court since the day you filed your report? Has anything changed? I can't hear you, ma'am. Okay, she's shaking her head no. She's having, I guess she's not connected to audio somehow.
Okay.
Okay, I guess that's it, Judge.
Whatever. Okay. Anything else, Ms. Vanna?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Potts? Ms.
Your Honor, I just a couple of things just to kind of update you. Ms. Allen has done a super job helping us get appointments done and different things. It's a long drive, which is why, nobody can really drive all the way to Kingsville and back or whatever for those visits. That's why the in-person has been difficult, but they have facilitated Zoom visits and that's been working out really well. Ms. Allen has found some potential living places. Mom would prefer to be independent if she could, but she has agreed to go with me to look at some places and we'll just do a girls' day out and go see what it looks like and if it's good or not. She's indicated she wants to stay here and fight for her child and she wants to be near her child. And so she's been working really hard. And again, our special thanks to Miss Allen. This is a difficult case with some of the issues we're facing, and she's done a beautiful job. And I also want to thank Grandma, if she's on there somewhere. I see her there behind Mary, who's been very supportive of Mary and very helpful. And I know Mary said she was thinking about leaving to go to her mom's, but she's decided to stay in Texas and work toward seeing her child. So we've got the psychological was done by Mom. We've got a DID coming up on the 3rd. Miss McCary is working on getting the school records from California. And once we get all of that in place, then it opens up a broader range of what we can look at. And it would also potentially open up for some benefits for the baby if the DID comes back the way we think it will. But everybody's just been humming along to get that done. And Mary has worked really hard and her grandmother has too. So I'm real proud of them. And that's all.
Great. Okay. Ms. Bennett?
You're muted.
I know. I'm trying to get it off mute. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Everything's going well with my client. He's started doing different things. He did his OSAR already, I believe. There were a couple of documents he needed to sign so that CPS was able to get the records. I don't know if that was done or not, but if it's not, if they contact me, we'll get it done. But anyway, everything's going great, and we're just working on this service plan.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, Ms. Higgins, Costa, anything that's not in your report that you need to add?
I don't believe so, Judge. I think it's all there.
Great, thank you. Ms. Dowdle, anything?
He's doing well. Todd Jr.'s doing well. Donna reports that dad's helpful and he visits, and mom is visiting virtually, and everything's going well.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to approve the service plan, make it an order of the court, find that everybody's doing well, and that little man is doing great too. Parents, y'all keep up the good work. Sounds like you have some good plans and some good ideas going on. Parents, y'all have to comply with the service plan or your parental rights could be subject to termination. Everybody get out their pens, and I'll give y'all our court dates from now on. If you don't have one, Mr. Shannon, don't worry about it. Your lawyer will get it for you. So it's
Yes, ma'am.
That's okay. Our first permanency hearing is 4/29. Our second permanency hearing is 7/29. Final trial, we get that far, is 10/21, and our dismissal date is 12/1/25. Okay. Okay, well, good luck to y'all, and keep up the good work, and we'll see y'all in April. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, hold on, hold that thought. Hold just a second. Sorry, I lied. It's not 4/29. I changed that date. We're going to be, hold on, do May 6th. Sorry. Let me check all these other ones too. Yeah, May 6th. Actually, that's pretty far off. Hold on. Let me change it again. Let's do 4/15. Miss Anderson, you really might need to listen to the 11/15 one. There's some health issues on that one.
Oh, that's fine. Yes, ma'am. I'll be here.
Or the one that was supposed to be at 11:15, the last one in the morning.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. The whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Heskew, don't chew gum. Miss Dowdle, where's Mr. Bernal?
Judge, I don't know. I would have expected him to be here. I can text my legal assistant. I know we talk to him on a regular basis, so I'm shocked that he's not here.
Yeah, no, he's not in the waiting room. Okay, Miss Fanny, you may begin.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, we are here for a final, well, it says final bench trial. We did have we had an MSA. The department filed last week a motion to set aside the mediated settlement agreement pursuant to Texas Family Code 153.0071. Let's see here. We kind of laid out the reasons for requesting this mediated settlement to be set aside. It's my understanding that there's no opposition to it at this time. And so we're asking the court to go ahead and set aside the MSA. We're asking the court today to find extraordinary circumstances and extend this case for 6 months to allow the parents to work their services, and so we can work towards reunification. We're also asking the court today to order that we have a PC conference in the next 2 weeks so that we can all regroup and figure out what services these parents need to do. Where are we going on family therapy, visitation? We just need to regroup and kind of start fresh. Also, mom is going to have a new attorney, and so that will give Miss Willis time to get up to speed as well. And then to keep all orders in place. This would mean that the unsupervised visits that were in the MSA for Miss Heskew and the child McKinsey would no longer be taking place. And we're going to figure out what to do with visitation for mom. Definitely supervised, continue the virtual visits like she had been doing.
Okay. What about service plan for mom's boyfriend as was alleged in the MSA?
Yes, if she is seeing him, if they are still together, we would definitely do a service plan for him.
And is Miss Heskew UA and drug patching? What kind of drug testing is she doing, Miss Vanna?
She was doing the drug patch. I don't know if she currently has it on or if there's been a break in that as well.
No, she's on her patches.
She is, okay. Because I read somewhere that she said she couldn't afford them, but then she was the one that agreed to them originally.
Your Honor, it was just the one drug patch, and it was because she had some expenses for the girls and chose to buy them birthday and Christmas things over the drug patch.
Okay. Also, I read in the report that Ms. Heskewen going to counseling, basically not doing a whole lot right now.
Your Honor,
So
there was a whole issue. Sorry. There was an issue with the 2054.
There was no 2054. Is that what you said, Ms. Cummings?
Correct. That's in the discharge report. There was some communication issues that occurred, and then there was no 2054. Tina Nunley is going to take her back on. And I know I've seen the messages where she had reached out, Caitlin had reached out to Tina, and they were going to set up an appointment, and then Tina stopped responding to her, and that was January 9th.
Okay. And I did, the department, as soon as I did receive that note from Miss Nunley, let the department know they need to send the 2054s. Ms. Heskew needs to continue going. That should not be a reason for discharge. But that was part of the reason. So mom apparently stopped going, and the communication with mom wasn't very good for a while.
Okay. Well, y'all need to work on this. And basically, we're just kind of starting over, huh? Sort of.
Yes,
sounds.
Judge.
Okay. Anything else, Miss Vanna?
No, Your Honor.
Miss Cummings?
No, Your Honor.
Miss Dowdle?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, it sounds like the girls are doing what the girls want to do, doing their activities, blowing and going, doing well. Was able to visit with Mr. Bernal under the terms I put over the Christmas holidays. If he went up there, I think he did go up there and do that. So, Miss Brandy, is Miss Brandy still on, or Miss Welch? Is this yours?
Yes, it's mine.
Is Kay here?
No, Kay is now officially moved to a different state. So she's there as a friend, but not necessarily as the advocate.
Okay. Okay. Anything you need to add, Miss Welch?
No, nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Miss Lang?
Just so make sure we're all clear, I think there's an EPO in place, an emergency protective order, as to the paramour, Mr. TJ, Mr. Go blank on his name, Thomas Lee Mastropolito, and it doesn't expire until March 22nd, according to the documents we were provided. And just, you know, the court needs to know that my client was asked if he could come be a part and see her with mom. And I'm not sure mom understands that a protective order like that means she can't be around him, nor can he be around. Why in the world would he be traveling up there? But anyway, just want to make sure the court's aware that that is in place. And I do agree, if he needs to have a service plan, we need to get to know him before he gets to know my clients.
Okay.
Judge, I forgot to give you the update on child support when you're ready.
Okay, go on. I can listen and do this at the same time.
Sure. Mom is current. She owes for the month of January, $275. Dad, he owes $2,525, and I think it's just that wonky old child support order. Angela's team's been working on it, but he still his arrears are building regardless. So,
yep, and they're not going away. Okay.
I'll get on that again, Judge.
Okay. New dismissal date is 8. Oh, crap, I wrote down the wrong one. 8/16. Our next permanency date is 3/4. Second one after that is 5/20, and our trial is 7/29. Ms. Heskew, you have a service plan you have to comply, or your parental rights could be subject to termination. I'm going to write that the mediated settlement agreement is set aside. We have an agreed extension. Nina Willis is substituted for Michelle Cummings as attorney for Ms. Heskew. PC is to occur within 2 weeks, and parents ordered to appear. If they don't appear, their visitation will be stopped. Service plan for mother's boyfriend, and he must comply with the service plan. Mother's boyfriend not is to be included in any visitations or calls until agreed by CPS and attorney ad litem.
Judge, could I just ask one question, or ask you to ask Ms. Heskew? My client insisted that child support was taken out of his check and that she's getting it. Can we verify if she's received any child support since this case has began?
Yes, why don't you ask her that question just because she's under oath, Miss Dowdle?
Ms. Heskew, have you received any child support from Ruben since this case began?
I have, and the child support that I get was the back child support that he owed from the last CPS case. That,
Okay,
and it was I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I don't think that's really how it's applied, but I don't know. We'll have to double check, but it's been taken out of his check and it's going to you. So you've been receiving the child support.
Correct. I received 162
How often?
a week. And we went to court like last year, last May, I believe. And so what I show on my portal is the back child support that he owed from when Burnett County sent off to the OAG from the last case.
Judge, it seems to me that the current support should take precedence over the arrears. And I believe that's how the state applies it.
It looks like y'all need to get with the Attorney General's office and see if we can figure it out. Didn't we already do a 0 withholding order, I thought?
Yes.
I thought we did, but she's still getting it.
A 0 withholding order only applies to current support, not what he owes for arrears.
Well, but I thought we did a 0 withholding order for current support, so he paid to Miss Lang.
Right. So the Attorney General's office isn't taking the current amount of support from him. They're only taking what he owes in arrears.
Was he that far?
But they're taking it. Yeah, but they're taking it out in an amount equal to the current support.
No, they're taking it out there. He owes me like 600 or 550, something like that a month for the arrears. And the 275, it was my understanding the 275 was extra out of his pocket to owe for this case. That was supposed to be sent directly to Becky.
Until somebody gets the exact number from the AG's office and the printout and all that, we're just not going to know.
I'll work on that, Judge.
Yeah, we need to know where it's been sent and all that. Yeah. Okay. So like I said, Ms. Heskey, you have a service plan. You have to comply your parental rights subject determination. Everybody be real clear that if y'all don't and Mr. Bernal don't show up at the PC, no visits, no calls, no nothing. I mean, court was supposed to, what time is it? 11:58. He was supposed to be here at, let's see, what time? 10:50, and it's an hour later and we don't see him. I mean, I hear a bunch, he works, blah, 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 and he's too busy. Well, sorry. So,
I'll follow up, Judge. We did speak with him. He knew about today. I'm very surprised he's not here.
so, okay, well, good luck. We will see. Hope everything works on the PC, and we'll see y'all March 4th. Thank y'all. Y'all are excused. Please raise your hand. Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. Mr. Boyd, we need to see you. This is our second permanency hearing. The kiddos are in foster care in down by the Houston area. The department needs to help Elijah get into therapy. We need to find a doctor that can work on all these children's illnesses. I know Elijah's level of care has been increased, but I think Percy's needs to also. Casa y'all's report has some wrong things in it. Department is not PMC. Says something about children are placed with fictive kin. That needs to be revised. They're in the Fort Bend area. They're no longer with fictive kin. Elijah has been diagnosed as being on the scale. I was wondering about who's done hair strands lately. Miss Reed is no longer open door. That's not good. Dad needs to go to AA. Just a lot of stuff going on. So, Miss Fanning, you may begin. Maybe y'all have worked on this since the reports have been filed. So, Miss Fanning, you may begin.
Thank you, Judge. Yes, we have been working on this. I know Miss Victoria Martin has provided all the information that the ad litem's requested. Therapy notes, we received therapy notes from Dad's therapist, or a progress report for December, and that was circulated to everyone. Drug tests, alcohol testing, all of that stuff has been provided to everybody. And so I kind of want to take this one parent at a time, if that's okay. I think it'll just be easier that way, Judge.
That's fine.
Okay. So for dad, it seems like he's doing his services. We would like him to start AA meetings. We think that's important for him to have support for when during this case, and when we are out of this case. We would like to see his pay stubs, just see his financial situation. It's my understanding that he has stated that it might be difficult for him to have both kids back in the home with him. And so we just want to make sure that he is able to provide for them and he's stable and has support and things lined up before any of that occurs. The ad litems in the department have agreed to start unsupervised visits with dad every other week and on the weekend, so either a Saturday or Sunday, so he doesn't have to take off work. So no more sandwich visits. He's been doing well. And the reason we were talking about every other week was because I think he was having trouble doing every week due to the drive all the way down to the Fulshire area. And then we'd like to increase those as agreed by CPS and ad litems. Dad was supposed to do a psychosexual. He did miss that due to car trouble, and it's my understanding it has not been rescheduled. We're hoping that he does reschedule that. I think that might be something Miss Dowdle will want to talk about. And so overall, he's doing good and he's making progress, and the visits between him and the children are good. The children do have a lot of medical needs, and one kiddo is on the spectrum, so we definitely need dad to start looking at services in his area for these kids, and kind of learn what needs to happen and kind of the expectations. Let's see here. And let's see here. Miss Welch, is there anything else you want to add regarding dad?
Ms. Agata, the advocate is Virginia Baker, so I will.
I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you.
Miss Baker, is there anything else you want to add regarding dad?
No, I wanted to check on the child support. Nobody seems to be receiving child support for them. And I believe that was ordered, so we wanted to check on the child support.
Okay. Okay. And are you in agreement to kind of start progressing with dad and starting those unsupervised visits?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And those would occur on the weekends, correct?
His schedule, I guess we'd have to talk to him. I don't know how his schedule is. I believe maybe he does work some weekends too, but on his days off would be great.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I'll pass the witness if anyone wants to ask any questions of CASA regarding regarding dad.
Okay. Anybody have
Judge, I don't have any questions. I just like to be heard on the psychosexual issue.
Okay, hold on just a second. Y'all, I can only do this like 10 more minutes, so we're gonna have to be pretty quick.
Okay.
Okay.
So with mom, obviously there's a concern that she's left open door, that she's with a new boyfriend that moved to Texas to be with her. We haven't checked out where she's living yet. We would like mom to pay some child support. She's allegedly working at Walmart and also for a cleaning company. Let's see here. And then we would like to continue virtual visits for mom. Visits for up to 10 to 15 minutes total due to the children's age and their diagnoses. I don't think they'd be able to sit and concentrate for longer than that. And I think mom had sandwich visits. We're asking the court to stop the sandwich visits and either have them supervised or continue with the virtual visits. We definitely we're going to be setting up a PC in this case as well to see where we are and where we need to go in this case. We would like a service plan for the boyfriend. We would like it ordered that the boyfriend do FBI fingerprints so that we can see if he has a criminal history at his own expense or mom's expense. And also, I would like to ask mom what her new address is. Miss Reed, what is your current address?
It is 8. I'm still in the process of moving everything, but it'll be all set up within the week.
Kingsland. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. And then just regarding the kids, Judge, it seems like they're sick a lot of the times, and they need some more follow-ups, maybe with an ENT, an allergist, some sort of behavioral therapist for Percy, and speech therapy for Elijah. So the judge doesn't have that much time, so I'm done. Sorry, I'm just trying to go fast.
I got other stuff I have to do that was said already. So, okay. Okay. Miss McClure, what do y'all need?
Well, as far as I can tell, it sounds like my client's drug tests have been clean. And I know she's had some trouble getting there. She's been sick, kids have been sick. So I don't understand why, even with a concern about a new boyfriend, if the boyfriend's not part of any sandwich visit, why is the department and everyone requesting that her in-person visits be stopped?
Because she left open door against advice.
But if she's
and she has a new boyfriend that
But Your Honor, if she's drug testing and she's clean, and if the boyfriend is not part of the visit, then what is the harm to the children to have her have these supervised visits or sandwich visits in the meantime? And then if there are concerns that come up, if she has a positive drug test, if the boyfriend ends up being a bad guy and she's not willing to get rid of him, then we know that that's not the route we need to keep going.
Well, and we're not asking for all visits to stop, it just the sandwich ones. So if she can make it for some supervised visits, the department's okay with that.
Yeah, no, I already wrote down she can do supervised visits, just no sandwich visits. I mean, I don't, all these people in this case need alcohol counseling severely, in my opinion. And we don't get new boyfriends. I mean, there's just a lot of bad stuff going down. It's not conducive to getting this case over real quick. So if she gets supervised visits and the virtual phone calls can continue, I think that's okay. What else, Ms. McClure?
I would ask that once the boyfriend gets checked out and once the department and CASA and CPS have gotten all the information from mom about her new place, she's going to take photos. She's going to send everybody updates. Everyone can, of course, come and visit. I would ask that they reconsider the stopping of her sandwich visits once they get all that information and are assured that she is continuing a sobriety support. She's going to AA meetings. She's seeing a therapist who's actually recommended a monitored return to mom. And so she is making progress. I would just ask that everyone not assume that simply because she left open doors, she therefore is failing in everything when she actually has a support plan in place and is more than happy to share all of the information about that support plan. And her therapist is also willing to communicate with anybody that wants more information to just find out what is she doing in lieu of open door.
Well, it's going to take some time to get settled and to see how things go in lieu of open door. Make sure they go on the right path.
I'm just asking for them to be open to that and to investigate that and update the visitation plan as appropriate.
And I have some things in order that'll work for you too. Okay. Okay, Ms. Dowell.
Yes, Your Honor. My understanding, the last time we had a hearing, and I don't know what the court's docket sheet says, so you can certainly enlighten us. But my understanding was that the psychological said that my client should have a psychosexual if the department had any concerns about sexual abuse going on. And the department testified they didn't have any concerns about sexual abuse going on. And this all arose because of the age difference at the time dad and mom got together back in the day. So it's been, I don't see the need or where the basis for this psychosexual comes from if the department themselves said they didn't have a concern about sexual abuse. And that's what the psychological said. If there's a continuing concern, then they would recommend a psychosexual, which is understandable. But there's not a continuing concern. So, I mean, it's been my advice to him to not go yet until I could have this matter heard. And we were already, when they asked him to go a few weeks ago, we were already set for hearing today. So I didn't see the need in having an emergency hearing in between then and now. I thought we'd just wait and let's address it at this hearing. So certainly if the judge orders him to do it, he's going to do it. But I just think it's overkill and a waste of time and the state's money.
I remember discussing that, but I don't see it on the docket sheet.
Judge, if I might be able to clear it up a little bit for us. There were allegations that were made by mom that dad had sexually abused Percy, And I think subsequent, and that was included in his psychological, that may have happened. And I think subsequently the department is telling us that they ruled that out. And so that's what the basis of the psychosexual was in the psychological and the follow-up. But now that it's been ruled out, it kind of puts a different perspective on it.
Thank you, Susan.
The other thing, just real quick, Your Honor, was for Dad, he's made one child support payment for $700. I guess that was two payments in one, and he made that on October 29th was when we finally received it. Through no fault of his, there was an address problem or whatever, but we'd like to see him get current on that. And then we don't have any names or anything for family support or friend support, and we're going to work on that in the PC to try to get that done. And then the last thing would be to request if Miss Anderson could perhaps meet with Miss Welch or Miss Regina and I and Miss Victoria to try to sort out what we can do for the autism and the potential epilepsy issues based on genetic testing. We just need to be sure we've got really good doctors and we're taking care of that, and that we get the allergy testing in place for the kids.
And when do you want to do that, Ms. Potts?
At a time convenient for Miss Anderson, I would say, but as soon as possible.
Okay. Yeah, Miss Anderson, I think I guess you'll need to look at the kids' files and see what's, because there's a lot going on, a whole lot. And they're just sick all the time and nobody can really get to the bottom of it. It's really causing problems with placement. And in my opinion, we're not near sending the children home yet. So
yeah, of course. Just email me, Susan, if you want to set up a time.
Okay.
Has anybody, but it seemed like back in October we were talking about home study on grandmas. Anybody received the home study yet?
Yes, Judge, it was denied. It was sent around.
Okay. So lawyers, y'all did get it. CASA. Okay. Okay. I didn't know about that. Okay. CASA, what do y'all need?
Your Honor, that's all we had. Everything's been addressed.
Okay, thank you. Okay, what I have is data to begin AA meetings and provide written proof of attendance to the caseworker beginning 2/1/25 and on the first day of each month thereafter. He is also to provide pay stubs at the beginning of the case, also on 2/1/25 and continuing on the first day of each month thereafter with the current pay. Caseworkers to immediately circulate these records to the attorneys in CASA. Dad can visit for 2 hours unsupervised, but must remain within 10 miles of the placement. These dates and visits are as arranged by placement, CPS, and Ad-Litem's. Mom can continue to visit virtually and supervised, also as y'all can work out. No more sandwich visits. Service plan for mom's boyfriend and fingerprint, FBI fingerprints at mom's expense by 3/1/25. Boyfriend is to have no contact with the children. CPS is to locate therapists for the children within 2 weeks, and I don't want any telemed. Ad-Litem's and CPS are to observe mom's new home within 2 weeks, and Mr. Boyd doesn't need to do the psychosexual evaluation. Parents shall have service plans. You have to comply or your parental rights could be subject to termination.
Could I just clarify one thing? If you said 2 hours unsupervised, if the Ad-Litem's and the department agree to more time, can they increase that as agreed?
Yeah, same with mom. Y'all can change all that as agreed.
Okay, thank you.
Let me look at court dates. We're not set for trial until our next hearing is 5/6. We need to have another hearing between now and then. Let's just do 3/4. Say next perm hearing 3/4.
Judge, did you order child support for mom?
Oh, no.
And we would request that dad get current.
Okay.
Work on
I
it.
think she ordered that.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Reed is to pay $150 per month child support beginning 2/15/25 payable to Ms. Potts for placement. And Mr. Boyd is to become current by 3/4/25. That's our next hearing. Okay. Okay. Thank y'all. Y'all are excused.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Everybody's going to testify. Please raise your hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, this is our first permanency hearing. I don't see the father. Mr. Wood, do you see him or know where he is?
Does the number I was using with him is coming back as undeliverable on messages, and I haven't been able to contact him.
Okay, thank you. And I'm not sure the caseworker, Ms. Campbell, have y'all been in touch with him either? Can nobody?
No, ma'am, we have not.
Okay. Like, let me see, somebody's beeping in. I had that he hadn't done much on a service plan. Didn't know he'd been done in hair strand or anything. Let's see, mom's been doing well. Probably need to increase her visits. Jersey's with family, doing great in school and everywhere else. So that's what I have, Mr. Malone. But things with mom are going well, and not so with dad.
That's my impression, Your Honor. I have not read the entire file. It's fairly thick, but that's my impression.
Okay. Does the department need anything today?
Judge, I want to clarify. I'm not sure which report it said mom was doing well to increase visits, but she hasn't drug tested.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. That's right. I was just wanting to increase her visits possibly once we get some drug testing, some clean.
Your Honor, I think she has a hair strand test scheduled within the week or something. She started a new job and she was super reluctant to ask for time off for that, but she's had a conversation with her employer and mom knows that the drug testing is not optional. So she's going to be able to do the UAs when requested from this point forward. And she does have the hair strand test scheduled.
Okay. Well, then we can increase her visits once we get some clean ones under our belt. Okay.
Good deal.
Okay. Miss Campbell, what else do y'all need?
She'll need to begin counseling. She's yet to get that started. I had a discussion with her on Thursday about the counselor, and she's asked that I try to find her a different one. So I will try to make that referral out for her.
The counselor that Your Honor, the counselor that she was sent to is not a native English speaker, and she could not communicate with the person. So I think that was part of the problem. And I don't know if there has been a referral made or an appointment set up, but I know mom would be happy to do that once the referral is made.
Okay. I understand. Okay. Thank you. What else, Ms. Campbell, do y'all need? Can y'all hear me?
Talking to you. Yeah, she's talking to you, Stacy.
I'm sorry. What was the
anything
question?
else?
What else?
No, not at this time. Like I said, I had my first visit with mom on Thursday, and I discussed with her in depth about her need to cooperate because she has not completed any services since the beginning of the case. And we had a very frank conversation about what we needed her to do, and she seemed more than willing to start cooperating.
Okay. Sounds good. Anybody have any questions of Ms. Campbell?
Your Honor,
Go on, Ms. Miller.
thank you. I understand that there was a permanency conference held a couple of weeks ago that I never received any notice from. Were you part of that meeting, Ms. Campbell?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Can you make sure that I, as well as Ms. Shelton, am advised of any permanency conferences that we have in the future?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you or did any other worker attempt to contact me during that meeting? Because I didn't get notice of it.
I honestly don't know if the previous caseworker tried to contact you. I was newly assigned like the week before, just like a week ahead of time.
Okay, so we've had a switch in caseworkers within the last couple of weeks.
I got the case on I think December 21st.
Okay,
when I was actually assigned.
Okay, thank you. Have you made a referral to the new counselor?
I just met with mom on Thursday, this past Thursday. So no, I have not got that referral yet.
Okay, when do you expect being able to make that referral to an English-speaking counselor?
I will work on it tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
The office is closed today, so.
All right, thank you. And as far as mom's hair strand test, when is that set up for?
She said she's got a week to take it. The referral was sent out on Thursday, and it was set up for the Marble Falls office, and she was informed of that on Thursday as well.
Okay, this past Thursday, like the 17th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So she just needs to make it there before this Thursday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And as far as, well, I think that's all I have at this point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Miller. Mr. Wood?
Yes, have you had any contact with my client, the father?
I have. No, sir.
Okay, my last contact with him was on December 23rd, is when he reached out to me last. So that would have been a couple of days, sounds like before you were appointed 2 days before that, but you haven't heard from him?
No, sir. And he has a courtesy worker as well who has not had contact with him either. Well, I believe she had contact back like September, October, and he left her in his house when she went to meet him.
Okay.
Your Honor, I don't understand who the her and the him is. I'm sorry.
Say that again, Ms. Campbell.
Mr. Williams had a courtesy worker, and I'm not sure of her exact name at this time, but she had a courtesy worker, and she did try to meet with Mr. Williams at his home, and she was able to encounter him once at his home to review the family service plan, and he walked outside and left her in the house and never came back. So
that's a new one. Okay.
That's what the information is from the notes that I have.
Well, I'm glad he's trusting of her.
I'm sorry?
I'm glad he's trusting of her.
Is it still was it approved as a suitable home when she was there looking around? I'm just kidding.
No, I think that's a good question. Oh my. Yeah, what'd she say about the house, Ms. Campbell, or did she?
I don't recall what she said.
Anything else, Mr. Wood?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Howard, do you have any questions of Ms. Campbell?
Just a quick one. Ms. Campbell, is Jersey having visits with her maternal grandmother?
Yes.
Okay, and are those on the weekends and overnight?
Yes. No, I don't think they're overnight.
Well,
I don't think they are. Well, they may be overnight. Yes, I think they actually are overnight.
Okay. Are those every weekend or every other weekend? Do you know?
Every weekend, I believe.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Malone, do you have any more witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Miller, any witnesses?
Your Honor, I don't believe so. I mean, I think Erica got off to kind of I don't want to say a rocky start, but I think that she understands what's expected of her from a compliance standpoint. Now she's, when Ms. Campbell said she hadn't done any of her services, I mean, I would beg to differ because she has stayed in communication with the department. She has had appropriate visitation. She does have safe and appropriate housing. She's done quite a bit on her service plan with the exception of not being able to communicate with a non-English speaking counselor in her drug testing. So I think once we get those things ironed out, and I think mom has shown us that she's a different person. The proof just needs to be in the pudding with that testing and counseling, and those of course have been lacking, and she's willing to get on track with those.
Well, we're at the first permanency hearing. It's just kind of when, people either get on or get off. So that sounds like, sounds about right. So that's good. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Wood, excuse me, Mr. Wood, anything?
Nothing, Judge. My client does work away, and so he has expressed a willingness to do a hair follicle. I don't know if that's been ordered or not, but that would be more realistic for him to get that done. But I don't have any contact with him, so if he contacts mom or the department, if they could just let me know, that'd be great.
Okay, I have some of that written down already. Thank you, Mr. Wood. Casa, what do y'all need today?
We don't need anything. Jersey's doing great in her placement. She does excellent in school. We don't have any concerns with her placement or her visits or anything right now. She's doing very well.
Good. Mr. Howard?
So I think Emily's pretty much said what I was going to say in a different way. It appears mom is doing well. The issue here is the proof. And I think everybody's goal in this case, from the placement to the grandparents to mine to hers, is to get Jersey back with her. And so I would encourage her to, if nothing else, answer these questions with the drug test and the therapy, because that's going to speed that process up. Hopefully everything's going well. So we had previously, in this case, talked about potential placement with her mom, the grandmother. Currently, the grandmother, I think, getting every week visits. I would suggest that the plan in place is going pretty well. And so I would like for her to stay with the Sheltons or Teresa Shelton and keep having those visits. I think we're at a good plan on this case, especially when everybody's working towards getting the child back with the mom. They're all close family. They're all close in distance from each other. I think and Jersey's doing really well under the current circumstances. And so I'm not asking for any change of that. And I hope we won't have to get to the end of this case and have to argue about that because Jersey needs to be back with her mom. Everything I hear from the Sheltons, Teresa Shelton, who are supervising the visits, are that the mom is extremely appropriate, that they go very well, that she is a good mom in those visits. And so they're supportive of her. Two things I ask for, if and one of these comes from Teresa Shelton. I think the visits are Friday through Sunday. There's been a little concern when Jersey comes back on Sunday, just the transition. She wants to be at her parents' house. Teresa, I believe, maybe drives the bus. And she's asked that maybe it would be better if Jersey just goes back Monday morning where she can pick her up at the bus and instead of having to go back Sunday night. She thinks that would work better. And then Jersey would be in that routine of going to school and then going back home with them. And so I think that's a good idea as well. I agree. I think that the Sheltons are supervising. I think that Erica should have more visits. I'd like for them to be supervised by the placement, not her mom. And I think they'd be very easy to do. And so I guess what I would ask is if the mom starts taking her drug tests and they're passing, that at least she gets 1 more hour a week visits. I know the placement's okay with that. And so really, I don't have any reason not to recommend that, except we don't have those tests back. And so I think that's another reason to encourage her to get those done. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Shelton, do you have hair? You have long hair? What's your hair? Okay. It was just pulled back in a ponytail. Okay. Just checking, because you're not supposed to cut or dye your hair during you can trim, but don't be going bald on me or anything during the pendency of the case. Okay. Anybody else? Miss Millway, are you raising your hand?
Yeah, just real quick, Judge, if I may. I agree with everything that everybody has said here. I think that things are heading in the right direction. I just want to point out 2 things. One, if we could have the Children's Bill of Rights in the case, the only concern that the department has is that grandma is telling Jersey that we know of, is telling Jersey to tell everyone that she wants to come live with grandma again. I think that everyone's working well together and we don't need that extra stress on her. So that's the only thing with grandma. The other thing is, I just want to clarify, the therapist that mom was assigned to, she's from Africa. She has an accent. She is 100% English speaking. And we've actually had a lot of great success with parents with her. So I just wanted to clarify that. And then if mom needs a ride to drug testing, please reach out to us, because we don't want that to be a barrier. And we're able to do that. But I do think that things are on the right track.
Okay, y'all, I'm going to apply the Children's Bill of Rights. What it is what Ms. Millway talked about, it's a couple of pages of do's and don'ts during the pendency of a family law case. It's like you can't tell Jersey, oh, when you come home, we're going to Six Flags. Oh, that nasty dad of yours, that mean old judge, those nasty lawyers. You have to maintain the status quo of the case. You can't promise anything. You can't talk smack about anybody. You just have to talk about how's school, how's your friends, how's the weather, what'd you do today? That kind of stuff. You're really just not supposed to talk about the case at all to the child. Mr. Malone, you can Google you can Google the Children's Bill of Rights to your account, or the district clerk might have it, or CPS can send it to you to attach to this order. But it's applicable to everybody in the case, and placement and everything else. Miss Williams, Miss Shelton, sorry, you have a service plan. You have to comply with the service plan, or your parental rights could be subject to termination. You know that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say Miss Shelton's visits can increase per CPS items once she has 3 clean consecutive UAs. That says increase. Y'all keep doing what y'all are doing now, but that's increase. No visits or contact from Mr. Williams until he is service plan compliant and completes a hair strand as requested by the department. Attorneys and costs are to be included in all CPS type of conferences, PCs, meetings, etc. I don't like that when they're not able to be there. And our next permanency hearing is April 22nd. That's a long way, so hopefully we can be increasing visits. If we need to have a special hearing or a phone conference or something between now and then, we can always do that. Okay, Mr. Malone?
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, if opportunity presents itself and it's not considered out of line, I like to actually meet the people who are involved. So again, I'm moving along here on new turf for me. But as a general rule, if opportunity arises and there's no reason not to, I would appreciate the opportunity to meet with the various parties in this matter, and on all matters for that matter.
If they have another conference or something like that, you want to go also?
Yes, that would be great if nobody objects to that.
You're part of the team and the planning and everything else. I think I used to, can't remember really that far back, but I think I used to go to some meetings like that when I was county attorney a million years ago. Does anybody have any objection? I think it'd be good. I think the department would probably appreciate having representation there, and it'd be a real good learning tool. I think that's wonderful.
Right.
I'll let Brandy know to include him on Mills County meetings for sure.
Yeah, and not just this case, just line them up, put them on all of them, Already said that.
Please.
No, that's good. I think that's fabulous. Because, a lot goes on at those that you might not necessarily know about, And
right.
Christmas a lot of stuff's discussed. You could add 2 cents worth, I think.
Right. Great.
Okay, good. Yay.
Wonderful.
Okay. Well, good luck, Miss Shelton. Good luck, family. And we'll keep our fingers crossed. And I know your visits will be increasing. And Miss Shelton, if you're like Miss Milloway said, excuse me, if you need transportation, let them know quick, because they got to arrange for transportation. And if you miss a UA and you got like 2 cleans and you miss the next one, you got to have 3 clean consecutive UAs. Okay. So, okay. Well, good luck.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I believe the complaint from the department was that the grandmother was coaching or attempting to influence the child. Not that Miss Shelton. I mean, all of her visitation reviews have been fabulous. So who in this group is going to get the Children's Bill of Rights to Erica Shelton's mother, the grandmother?
We will do that.
Party.
We'll do that. Emily, Stacy will take it out to her and have a conversation and just let her know kind of what went on at court. Just give her an update.
Thank you.
So, Judge, just for clarification, Jersey can stay over at Grandma's till Monday morning.
Sorry, I forgot to say that. Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea.
And also, I presume that if she passes her hair follicle, that'll count as 3 clean drug tests.
I'll buy that. That's okay.
Thank you.
Let me write that down. Just so there's no issue. Mr. Howard, bus wise, do we need her? Excuse me, do we need Jersey to be dropped off the bus on Friday too?
I don't know currently when she goes over there. I think Miss Shelton works at the school, so I presume I think she's providing the transportation. But they can work that out. I mean, all these homes are within, I don't know, 300 yards of each other.
Okay. Okay. So I wrote, if mom's hair strand is clean, this equals 3 clean consecutive UAs. Jersey can end weekend visits via morning bus ride. Everybody understand all that? Okay, good. Okay. Good luck. Thank y'all. Everybody's going to testify. Please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. Miss Debbie was that? There's Mr. Jimmy. Okay, I see him coming in. Okay. Okay. Boys are 2 and 1. I got it in the report. I don't understand why Bobby and Marshall aren't doing any family therapy though. I don't get that. It looks like Aiden's time at his ranch facility is about to end. So there's been some discussion about a therapeutic foster home.
That's not correct, Your Honor.
It's not?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I didn't get a CPS report, so I don't know anything that was in the CPS report. I'm just taking it from Costa's report. And the boys with Miss Dakota and her husband are doing well. So, Mr. Malone, what do y'all need today?
Your Honor, I think the main thing is we need to get the medical records, and I didn't learn about this until a few days ago. And so my plan is when the court sets the next hearing, I intend to subpoena the records from the doctor who's been involved in this.
He's the psychiatrist, Mr. Morrow.
Yes.
He's a doctor in practical nursing or something. I've attempted numerous times to get records from him. We have sent him both certified and uncertified letters. I have left numerous messages and never received records, nor have I received a return phone call. And I asked Mr. Malone if he would help us in subpoenaing the records.
Have y'all talked to Miss Anderson about this, Sally Anderson with Superior?
No, ma'am, I have not.
She was on this morning. She here?
Is there a Miss Robinson in the waiting room? She's
Nope.
the administrator. Okay. She's the administrator for
my next day. She's what? Yeah, I was talking, and you were talking over me. What?
Sorry, ma'am. She's the administrator where Aiden is, and she had indicated that she had wanted to just sign in today. So,
Nope, unless they're on here. Everybody else is Coriel people for a trial. Mm-mm.
no, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, here comes somebody else. Hey, no, still Coriel people. Okay. So is that for all the boys for when Aiden was there too, or what? What's it for that y'all are talking about?
It's for Marshall and Bobby. I need their psychiatry notes. Miss Bateman has been sending me a statement from the therapist. I received one for November and I received one for December, but I can't get the psychiatrist to give me their notes and the information on their medications. So.
Okay, that's well. Always maybe do a subpoena, Juices take him to and get his butt to court. I mean, he would love that, but okay.
Yes, that's why I reached out to Mr. Malone and asked for some help. Aiden is doing very, very well at the RTC. He is close to being in the final level of their program. But I asked Ms. Robinson very specifically, are y'all ready for discharge? And she said, "Oh no, Mr. Bowden. Once we're happy with where he's at, we'll let you know. But we're going to give you time to find a place. We just don't give them some time to that."
I didn't understand you.
Can you not hear me, ma'am?
I hear you now.
Okay, I apologize. The administrator there said that once Aiden has gotten to his top level, he has to stay at that top level for a while. And when they think that it's about time for him to leave, they'll give us time to find somewhere for him. She said, "I don't throw any of my children out. My children can stay here until they have someplace to go." So she's a new administrator, and I'm really enjoying working with her.
Okay, good. Okay, anything else, Mr. Malone? No?
I'm sorry, not from me, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions of Mr. Bowden?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Howard.
Just briefly. So, Mr. Bowden, I know that there is maybe a disagreement on how fast we move towards an adoption, but setting that aside, if there wasn't a disagreement on that, what else is there that the department needs as far as therapy notes, doctor's notes? I mean, what would be the holdup as far as moving forward to the adoption if we were all in agreement? What else do you need?
Just like I said, our last hearing, I need the therapist. And some had to give me a recommendation towards that. And I needed the notes from their psychiatrist. And I can't take a step forward until I have these things so that we can determine that the children are ready to do this. I know we discussed at our last hearing putting together a meeting with all parties. I have asked for that meeting. Unfortunately, I was out sick the last 2 weeks in December. The person who's going to have our meeting was out until December 7th, and then Ms. Tulloch was out all of last week. So we've given her some dates to try to look at. So that meeting is still something that we're planning on. So everybody's together and everybody gets onto the same page.
Okay, Mance, maybe you need to turn off your video because I'm having trouble hearing some of what you're saying. I hope it's not just me.
No.
Okay, and so Mance, I think what you said is you need some therapy notes and the psychiatrist notes.
Is there a way for me to possibly speak on behalf of the department since his
I
audio is not?
apologize. I am out in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma. So, did you hear anything that I had said, Patrick?
I heard the second part. I didn't hear the specific as far as the therapy notes and the psychiatry notes, I think is what you said.
I can't hear you, Patrick.
Okay, let Ms. I got a trial in 7 minutes. So Ms. Tulloch, you can go.
Okay, perfect. So essentially what we're concerned with is that there's been a lot of adjustments, even through the children being placed in their current home, which we believe it's a great home, but they haven't had that fair adjustment period to really show that they're ready for the adoption. They transitioned into the home, and then we're having issues within themselves, with their siblings. We have the separation of siblings, and now, they're just now really settling into their own therapies, and we still haven't been seeing any updates from those therapies. And so we can't say that they actually are settling in and that it would be good for us to dismiss the department and do an adoption yet. And so that's the piece that we're really missing. We're not necessarily saying we're not in agreement to adoption. We're just saying we don't have those pieces yet to be able to fully support an adoption at this time, to make sure that the boys don't need additional supports from us or case management from the department and legal parties to support them through that transitional period into an adoption. So that's really just what we're waiting on. We've been asking for those reports. We're just waiting on those to make sure that we're making the best recommendation for the children possible.
Okay, so to follow that up, you're waiting for the therapy notes from the therapists saying that these kids are ready for adoption. I mean, that's the missing piece.
To show that they have had positive adjustment and that they are doing well in the home. Not necessarily a therapist saying that they're ready for adoption, but to show that we've had some positive transition and that there's stability right now that would support us dismissing. Does that make more sense?
It does, but what I'm asking is you don't have those notes.
No, we
regardless
don't.
of what they say, whether they say they're ready or not.
Correct. We don't have them, and they have not been provided to us. And that's what we're continuing to seek, are those notes.
So who is supposed to provide the notes? Is it the agency?
Hold on, one at a time, Mr. Bowden. Mr. Tulloch. Ms. Tulloch's talking. Go.
So who's responsible for providing those notes? The agency, the parents, or the doctors? Or the placement, excuse me.
So essentially it would be the provider, so the doctor or therapist. But if they're giving those notes to the parents, then we would ask that the adopted parents give those to us, or if they're provided to the agency, that the agency would give those to us. But
you don't care where you get the notes, you just need them.
Absolutely. And I think that we've sought those avenues, like all of them, and we just have not received those from anyone.
That's not completely correct. Ms. Bateman has sent me some notes from the individual therapist, but her notes are very generic. And the notes from November and the notes from December are almost identical in what they say.
and they really don't say anything.
Applications of complicated. So, Mr. Bowden, has the family started family therapy with no Marshall and Bobby?
The family was in therapy. The family stopped therapy, and family therapy has not started again.
Judge, I know you have another trial coming up, and we could argue this all day. I'd like to ask Ms. Bateman one quick question.
Okay, anybody else? Mr. Malone, do you have anything else, Mr. Bowden?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're gonna just do you have any more witnesses, Mr. Malone?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll hear from Cost in just a second. Okay, Mr. Howard, do you have a witness, please?
Dakota Bateman, unmute, please.
She's been sworn.
Okay, Ms. Bateman, have y'all started family therapy? Have y'all restarted, or are you in family therapy with 2 kids in your placement?
Yes.
How long you been doing that?
About 2 weeks last week, so this would be week 3.
Okay, has that gone well?
Yeah, we've been doing fine. I haven't been able to get the notes yet. I have been asking multiple times for the notes. They just haven't delivered them.
And so we've talked about these notes and just seeing on paper what's happening. Are you trying to get those notes yourself?
Yes.
Since no one else seems to be able to get them?
Yes, I've been communicating with the therapist, the psychiatrist, the family therapist, everybody multiple times, sometimes every single day for weeks.
Who's the family therapist?
It is her. It's
Her.
out of Colleen. I don't
Ms.
remember her
Bateman.
last name.
Right. Ms. Bateman, you understand what everybody's saying is that we want to see on paper that what's happening here, and that's what's holding up the adoption.
Yes.
Okay. And so you understand that you want to adopt these kids. The quicker we can get that paperwork, it sounds like, the better we can move forward.
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Okay. Thank you. Any more witnesses, Mr. Howard?
I have no more witnesses. I sure have a statement, but no more witnesses.
Okay. Mr. Jimmy, what's up? What is Mr. Jimmy?
You need to unmute.
Yeah.
Oh, there we, can you hear me now?
I got you now.
I was on a roll too.
I understand.
No, this is what I don't understand, Your Honor. I go visit these boys, but none of these people call and ask me what I think. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to tell you what these boys told me the other day. Bobby, he could care less if Aiden comes back. Marshall pretty much feels the same way. I'm serious.
No, it's fine. You're making me laugh.
Aiden has no problem with these boys being adopted. In fact, he's told me, he says, Mr. Jimmy, if they find another place for me, that's fine. But what I'd like to see happen, let's adopt these 2 boys, because you're keeping them under more trauma by not doing this. And then every time the door knocks or something, they're afraid somebody's coming to take them. And I don't blame them there. These people are excellent parents. I know what they're talking about. I can't get therapists to talk to me. I quit trying to deal with them. You know, and there's one thing with Aiden, though. Yes, he is doing really good, but he's gotten into this wanting to be a rapper, and I don't really care for the guy that he's looking at. Your Honor, write this down and go look this guy up. YNW Melly. That's who he is looking up to. YNW Melly, MELLY. You're not going to be happy.
Why?
MELLY. YNW. If you just look up Melly, it'll come up. MELLY.
Start over. Start over.
INW. Y is in you, N is in no, and W is in Walter.
Oh, I got it. Oh, yeah.
Melly, MELLY. Yeah, I'm not too happy with that, but you know, but he's doing great there. These boys are doing great where they're at. Talk to me. I'll let you know. I visit with them. I spend time with them. And I don't, why are y'all ain't going and talking to them. Go talk to them. They are not bashful about telling you what they want. And I think we're giving them more trauma. We're dealing them a bad rap because we've promised them that they would be adopted. And we're not really going through with that right now, are we? I'm sorry. I'm here for the boys. I understand their point. I deal with them therapists and stuff. If you want me to, I will go sit on their freaking desk to get you the paperwork you need. Just give me the address. I will show up there and I will not leave till they give me what I asked for.
It is, so we need therapist records. We need psychiatrist records also. Is that what you're understanding, Mr. Jimmy?
Yes, ma'am. I get stuff, but it's like Matt said, it is kind of, she's not telling the full story, and they don't really like to. But I attended a course on ARDs that I need these therapists to know. For me to do an ARD, I need to know how they feel so I can get these kids, in school. But as far as Bobby and Marshall, they are doing great. I mean, you couldn't ask for better. They're ready to be adopted. They're scared. They're scared that Aiden is still holding control over them.
No. I mean, the only thing, just so you know, Mr. Jimmy, the only thing that, I mean, you've been there. We've had placement. I just want to make 3,000% positive that we're in a good spot. And
I'm going to tell you 4,000.
Okay, 4,000. Okay, we can even go higher. So that's why
I want to be sure we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and I think we are. But I mean, as long as I can't remember who said it, Ms. Tulloch, I think, as long as all the legal team's here, the professionals are here, the department's here to hopefully provide services, I think we ought to take everybody up on that. And we still kind of have, this is going to sound kind of crude, but this Aiden issue floating around out there. What are we going to do with Aiden? Is he going to go to, I wish he could go to therapeutic foster home, to maybe transition back to the Batemans, but to Miss Dakota's. But, they're finding a therapeutic foster home is like me winning the lottery tonight,
Hard.
I mean, we all wish,
Yeah.
But, and I think it's a great plan because, and let me ask, I was just looking up this person you told me about, Mr. Jimmy. Is he, learning about this young man?
He idolizes this person.
Is he learning that from his peers where he's at?
Well, in his previous placement, not with the Batemans, but when he was at True Light, he met this kid named Victor, and that's who he's emulating, who I guess was one of the older kids there. They had several older kids there that is, saggy pants, whatever, wants to be a gangbanger. They really don't know what they're getting into because I take most of these kids' place in Houston, a 10-year-old, chew them up, spit them out. But that's where he's getting all that from.
Well, other than the fact he's indicted for double murder, I mean, that's what I'm like, what?
That and probably when you talk to Aiden, he's going to want you to sign off on him getting pierced ears and tattoos. Yeah. I told him it's not happening on my watch.
Not happening on my watch.
He's never said a word about that to me.
And that's where he's at. But but other than that, he's doing good. He hasn't had a major outburst there yet. We're sure they'll see one. But he's, other than his language, not, he's rebellious. He'll refuse to do things or whatever. But, and I just think that if when he finished this, lady told me the other day in this preview, it's going to be 2 to 3 months and more likely 3 months before they would even consider. So that gives CPS time to do some work. And
I'm not sure where we even got the idea that they were ready to discharge him, but I think Mance wrote an email asking the Batemans if they would consider taking Aiden back, and it sounded like that Aiden was going to be discharged, but apparently that's not the case.
But just go talk to the boys. You don't need a therapist.
I think we're setting that position for her, so hard to talk to him.
Okay, I do want him to go to family therapy. I mean, even if it's just they don't need one, I mean, I just think they need to go. I mean, I don't know him like you do, Mr. Jimmy or Mance or Patrick, but I'm kind of if somebody paid for me to go to therapy, I'd probably go to therapy too, After listening to y'all all day, I could probably go to therapy, but anyway, just teasing. Here's what I'm going to order so far. Family therapy to continue until further court order, no less than 2 times per month. CPS to look for therapeutic foster home for Aiden upon completion of his program. So I think that's really all the orders we're going to need. Mr. Jimmy, I think today, Aiden thinks it's cool talking smack and cussing, learning that from those kids he's around, I'm sure it rubs off. He probably kind of has a gangbanger kind of accent too, I would imagine. I don't know. You're muted, Mr. Jimmy. It seems like a lot of our kids that go to those places, they just kind of come out kind of like that.
Yes, ma'am. I understand the surroundings.
Yeah.
Your Honor, all I'm doing is requesting you to talk with these children.
Oh, we're going to set that up. We are. Okay. Does anybody need any other orders?
No,
Judge, I know you have a hearing, but let me just a few things real quickly. I've spoken to all three kids. I spoke to Aiden, calls me almost every day now. I will tell you that I had a conversation with him about an hour ago that led me to believe that he's struggling a little bit. He asked to he wants to leave placement tomorrow. Of course, his position changes daily, so I don't know what's going on today. And I don't know if he got this indication that he was about to leave like some of the rest of us did, and maybe that's part of it. I think part of my frustration is I believe, based on what I've seen and what's been reported to me by CASA and placement, that these therapy notes and these psychiatric notes are going to say that these two kids are ready to be adopted. I think there's also been a little bit of a holdup to say, hey, what's going to happen with Aiden here? And we'd like to do it all together. One thing that surprised me a little bit from talking to Aiden is Aiden does not seem to have any problem with his brothers being adopted. It also does not close the door on potentially him having a relationship with the boys. I know the Batemans want that. I know the placement wants that to occur. The placement said that we will consider it in the future, depending on how things go. I don't have any reason not to believe them on that. They're facilitating visits. They care for Aiden. And so that option will still be there. I think the hardest thing with that option is the relationship somewhat with the agency and the department has deteriorated such where I don't know if they'll want to get back involved with that part of it. Their placement, as far as I can tell, is not placement. The placing agency, as far as I can tell, has been more of a hindrance than a help. That's really disappointing. I just want to remind this court, these kids have been in care for 5 years. We have hoped and wanted for a consistent placement here. We've told these Bobby and Marshall that Aiden's not going to hold them back. They feel that he is. And quite frankly, talking to Aiden, he's not. Aiden told me just yesterday, because he broached the subject, hey, I want my brothers to be adopted. I'm not even sure I want to go back there. He'd probably vote no right now. But I want to be at the adoption to support them. And so that just threw me for a loop because I was expecting the opposite. And so Aiden's not the one holding them back. It's the paperwork and the department. And so I guess all I can ask for is that we move in a direction, get what we need to be satisfied as soon as possible. If those records show something different than what I think they're going to show, then let's deal with it. They're in family therapy, and so I think that needs to continue. Quite frankly, Your Honor, I think the Percy report asked for another hearing in 6 months. I think this case should be on every single docket until we get these kids adopted. Every single Mason County docket.
I'll put it on the next one. You're okay.
And that's why I want you to talk to these kids.
Okay.
And most especially Aiden. And if we have to do a preference on which one we talk to first, I'd say Aiden.
Okay. Well, get with me and we can make a plan. Let's see if we can get a plan and you and me and Mr. Jimmy can be on a Zoom call.
But what I'm most worried about is Bobby and Marshall getting so frustrated that Aiden's holding them up that it's not only going to traumatize them because they've done their work and they're ready, but it could affect their relationship with him going forward. And I'm not sure that's the truth.
Well, I'm not going to hold up the boys' adoption because of Aiden, because that could just be a revolving circle. And that's not good for these little guys when they're just about ready to do this.
Well, best case scenario, that's a year. Even if he got placed back in that home in 3 months, it would be a year, best case scenario, before we'd be ready to sign off on Aiden.
We're not doing that. Mm-mm. I mean, I'm going to set it for another hearing on 2/25, like Patrick says. That's my next court date. And we can see where we are record-wise. And, Mr. Malone, I think if we need to just subpoena everything, that be by then. They need to have everything to you by then. I don't think that's unreasonable.
And Judge, I'd hate to give them even that long. I'd like to get it records much sooner than that.
Okay, that's fine. And then, but then you don't get them by then we can do a subpoena just to take them for court that day.
Yes.
And I'm going to be in San Saba that day. I have meals that day, but I will be in the, unless it got bad weather again, I have to do one of y'all's cases is going to be adopted that day. So, and they want it in person. So I'm going to be in San Saba anyway. I have a trial in the afternoon. So I have to, it's kind of a choppy day, but, what I'm trying to say is I'll be in person and we can always get somebody there if need be.
Great.
Okay. A little bit, that's even a harder deal than getting them up here by Zoom, They can come to San Saba, Texas and come to court. So, okay, so we'll just have another hearing on 225 after, and then hopefully between, Patrick, just call me sometime this week and we'll work on a time for when we can get together with Mr. Jimmy or see when Mr. Jimmy's available. So I already read all my orders. Does anybody need anything else today? Okay. And Mr. Jimmy, you don't have to do a real long report. I mean, I would just do an addendum or if there's an update, just do an update. Whatever. I don't want you to work real hard on getting your report done in a month.
Your Honor, let me say this. When I took this volunteer job, they told me I was the judge's eyes and ears. And I'm going to be the best eyes and ears you got. And I got new hearing aids. So we're good.
Good. You are my eyes and ears. I got to do a speech this week and I wrote to CASA and to be filmed. Yuck. And I wrote that y'all are the eyes and ears. So you're on it. You're good. So, okie doke. And that, we're not always going to agree on everything either. And that's okay too. That's why we have the adversary, Okay. Okay. Well, good luck. And I'll see everybody in a little bit more than a month. And if we always, we're going to have powwow with the boys, but if we always did have a phone conference or whatever, I'm here. Let me know. Thank y'all. Okay. Bye. Thank y'all. No excuse.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Okay.